Let's introduce Lori.
All right, guys, we are live. This is the second episode of season 2 of Kaukauna Paranormal Unfiltered, the series where we basically go live once a month and talk about what's up with KPRT, answer people's questions, and bring on guests. The very first guest of the series today.
Yep.
Tonight.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Just to say it out there, LoriAnn, we really appreciate you. I've had personal experiences with you, and that's one of the biggest reasons I brought you over. Because number one, you're already very good at your field, from what I understand and what I heard. But actually, having you do what you did for like my wife and myself was just incredible, and that's why I decided to bring you on board for one of our podcasts. You're supposed to be number one. You were supposed to be number one, but we mistakenly thought you're only 1 hour behind.
She's still technically number one.
She is number one.
Just episode 2.
Correct, episode 2. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
All right. Well, you know what? I think that we're just going to get right into the questions. We don't really have a whole lot to talk about with actual KPRT besides an investigation that's ongoing. And we just released some new evidence, an EVP, that is some unexplained music that we couldn't really explain. That's available on our Facebook page right now for you guys to listen, also on our website, and probably more evidence coming in the stages of debunking a possible piece of evidence from the Carson Inn.
Yep.
Which,
by the way, LoriAnn was a part of an investigation?
Yeah, she wasn't there for ours, but she was a part of an investigation.
Yep, with another group.
That was there. Yes.
And I work with Chicago Paranormal for 15 years now.
Wow, that's impressive. LoriAnn, before we go into the questions, why don't you tell everyone who you are, what you do, and if you want to share some personal experiences, you're welcome to do so. So this is your stage.
Gosh, where do I start? I've been a professional medium for about 15 years. I've been doing readings for about 20. But when I say professional, I mean like doing stage work, stage events, which you've seen me do at the casino.
Yep.
I do small home events, personal, one-on-one readings, etc. I do work with Chicago Paranormal as their medium and have for many, many, many years. So I'm a psychic medium. I trained in England for 13 years, in Essex, England, at the Arthur Findlay College for 13 years. I'm an artist in real life. I ride a Harley.
Awesome.
I don't ride bitches anymore.
Harley.
I ride my own. I have 47 tattoos. I'm a real artist in life.
Me too.
I'm a mom. I'm a grandma of 3.
Oh my God! Congratulations.
So, I'm just like a normal everyday person, but I happen to talk to dead people for a living. So, and they like to talk to me too. So, other than that, I'm just like everybody else. Really, no different.
Well, all unique people are just like anyone else, right?
Yeah.
So, all unique people are, in many ways, just like anyone else. They just have some gifts. And during this conversation that we're having, I wanna talk about your gift and where it all started.
I just confirmed we have perfect audio on the stream right now, so we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody can hear you perfectly.
My gifts are, most of my gifts I was born with, from what I understand.
Yep.
I didn't really learn what any of those things were until I was in my upper 30s. I always knew that I was strange and weird. I didn't fit in. I not that I didn't have friends. I was just kind of a weird kid, And then when I was in my 30s, I started hearing Victrola music when I would go to bed, conversations that weren't there. And it used to feel like a ballroom full of people talking a couple blocks away that you could overhear. It's almost like what it sounded like.
Yeah.
And then, so my mom was still living at the time, and I called her up. I said, I have empty nest syndrome. My kids had left home in my upper 30s. And I was like, okay, is this what happens when your kids leave home? And so I thought to myself. And she said, no, come have a drink with me. So I drove a few hours to where they live, and she said, you're a medium, and this is what mediums are, and this is what mediums do. And she told me all these stories about myself when I was a kid, and being kicked out of Catholic school for talking to dead people, or telling the nurses or the lunch ladies or the priest, that there's people were there and whatever. And the first experience she told me she knew that I was a real medium was when I was in kindergarten, and the first day of kindergarten. And again, this is a story my mom told me.
Yep,
I don't remember this. This is a story she told me.
Correct.
To make that clear. And she said that I told the teacher before school started, when we went in and sat down, first day of kindergarten, and told her that the man who was standing next to her said everything's going to be okay. Well, long story short, turns out that her dad passed away. The teacher's dad passed away that morning in school.
Wow.
And I'm 5.
Yeah.
And she said that then the principal came, and the principal taught for a week or two till she came back to class, and turned out that then I guess they called my parents and said they wanted to tell my parents what had happened, that I had told the teacher this.
Yeah.
And then my parents had to come and have a conference, and that was the very beginning, my mom said, of being kicked out of school often. So,
I wonder.
School.
Excuse me for a second. My dog worked his way in here. This is Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Charlie, he likes to come in when we're doing these shows.
And that's my story, really. And and I do probably, my max is 4 a day, and I usually do 4. I try not to work 5 to 6 days a week if I can. So I do about 4 readings a day, 5 days a week.
And I will tell you from personal experience, I've been a skeptic.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's
okay.
Better. Yep, that's
all right, here you are. So, your story sounds very familiar to me, because I wasn't a weirdo, but people didn't understand me. Because I would say things like similar to you, or out of nowhere I would go in a direction and people are like, what? And then later on, my mom, like your mom, she told me that when I was young, I would have experiences and people were like, just what? Or I'd walk up to someone and I put my hand on their shoulder or their back and I says, are you feeling all right? Because I'm not feeling all right around you. And most of the time they had illnesses or cancer or something like this. And, I dealt with people with anxiety at a very young age. But the outside people didn't understand. People from the outside looked at me as a weirdo like you, like you were saying. And what I learned over the years is, number one, most people are afraid of accepting things they don't understand,
Sure. I mean, our unconscious mind goes directly to fear when we don't understand something. Whether
That's correct.
A new car that we're going to drive that we've never driven, we instantly are fearful, etc. If it's a new sport we're trying, we've never done it, we're going to be fearful. It's just a natural fight or flight instinct that we all have.
Yep.
So, it's kind of like a norm to not understand, what we don't know, So
Yep.
I just think that, if I wasn't for finding the Arthur Findlay College and being in a group of setting of people that were just like me, I really remember the first year I ever went there was in 2006, and I didn't want to go home. I did not want to go back into the real world because everyone was like me. I could have conversations about dead people, about being psychic, about knowing this, that, whatever. I had this thing where they all talk about the clairs, the 4 clairs that are out there, all these books that are written about the 4 clairs. Well, I am here to tell everyone who's listening, there's a hell of a lot more than 4 clairs. Okay, so, I mean, people, I also teach, I teach this. Okay. And there's things that I've seen people have that I've never seen before that are true, honest, accurate, and work, that no one's ever written about before or seen. And it's, if you want to get called the clairs or whatever, we're all uniquely individualized in these gifts. I always say that when people start to wake up enough, in the world around us, you'll find that everyone can be gifted like this. And I mean everyone. You just have to wake up enough So, in my opinion, I mean, I trained to do this because I needed to understand it and find out that I didn't need medication or something.
Yep.
So, and finding the Arthur Findlay College and being fortunate enough to have a parent who was really, really supportive of my uniqueness, it's enough to teach me what it was and not necessarily how to use it, but to seek out something that I would understand, such as the college. I was very, very fortunate to have that kind of support. So sensitive means just that, sensitive. And when you allow yourself to be sensitive and not be sensitized via social norm, you'll find that all of your senses are already awake. It's a matter of you paying attention and then trusting them. Trusting your senses is not easy.
Correct.
Because in social norm, we're taught not to do so. We're taught not that this isn't okay, this isn't okay, this isn't okay. Especially our governments, which I really won't touch that too much other than just that.
All I gotta say is amen to that. Amen. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, it's like teaching us saying, here, drink this chlorinated water with a whole bunch of stuff in it that's going to basically make you sterile, but it's going to be okay.
Yep.
So, you just have to wake up enough to listen to your body and listen to your mind, listen to your senses, listen to your fingertips, listen to the energy, know how you feel, and the sensitivity and being what a lot of people want to use the word empath. And, that's kind of the beginning word to somebody who's probably pretty damn gifted.
Yep.
All they know is the word empath socially, and that kind of is a blanket statement for many, many things.
Yeah.
And so you just want to tell everybody out there that if you think you've got this, you do, because everyone does. Everyone's got this.
Now, LoriAnn, you're getting into an area that number one, everything you said is I totally 100% support what you're saying right now. There are triggers. Now, individuals who have been raised not to be sensitive, often when they realize they're sensitive, it's due to something physical, psychological, or anything that is like you almost have to be broken is the word that I use. And for myself, and Josh has witnessed the stuff I've done over the years, there are triggers that all of a sudden people start experiencing what you're describing, but it's due to something that happened, whether it's an accident, a trauma of some sort.
Well, I read this book. It's called Guidance by Silver Birch. And it's a channel book from 1867. Oh, sorry, 1870. No, yeah, 1869. I'm sorry, from 1869. It was rewritten in 1966. I call this my Bible.
Okay.
Because in this book, does it describe all of the things about being broken and why you're broken and what makes, when you use the word triggers, I want to say and respond to that in meaning that we don't learn anything by anyone handing us something easily in life. Okay? So you have to be somewhat broken and experienced in heartache and hardship and dig yourself out of whatever that situation is, whether it's a passing of a child or a passing of a grandparent or passing someone, or a friend or trauma in your personal childhood life that is just nonstop, until you finally break out and you're free of it and you start to learn who you are. It can be any kind of trauma. And they give us these things. I believe that before we get here, we raise our hand and say, oh, that's really hard. Oh, I can do it. And you raise your hand for the job before you get here.
Yes, that's exactly what I believe.
Yeah.
That's, oh my God.
Understanding what's really going to happen to you and how hard it's really going to be. So I believe 100% to bring it back around to what you're saying about being broken is that we don't learn anything from somebody handing us everything in life and being enabled by any and all things. We only learn from the negative and the bad and the heartache. That's
I totally
how we
agree.
learn.
Yep.
So when they give you all of this and you're like, I'll do it, and you come through the drudges of this and the trenches of this, you come out the other side humiliated, humble, kind, caring, compassionate, because anyone that the spirit will send your way, whether you're going to working on psychic or mediumship, either way, you will find they will put somebody in your path that you personally can understand. This brings me on to another subject of why mediums should not be should not be competitive, because there's so many people to heal in the world that we don't need to be competitive with so-and-so said this and so-and-so said this and so-and-so said this and she's not such a good medium or he's not such a great medium. Oh my God, they think they're special. It's like, you know what? We are given the personality types that we can help heal based on our brokenness and our personal experience.
Totally agree.
That's who they're given to give us that. So we all have different personalities and different brokenness, which is why as mediums, there's plenty of people to heal, because Spirit will always give us who we can understand to be compassionate, because we've been there to help.
Yep.
And that's a fact. So
Amen.
all this competitiveness out there in mediums and psychics and mediums, it's just so unnecessary.
You know, it's funny you say that. In the broad spectrum of what we do, yourself doing your thing. Sorry, yourself doing your thing. Yeah, not a problem. I keep on forgetting. I'm sorry.
Okay.
In the spectrum of, especially in the medium and the healers and the clairvoyance and stuff, you're absolutely correct. And I want to say, from my personal opinion, what you're saying is there's a lot of humanness in that, meaning people are competitive because they're insecure. Okay.
100%. I mean, I can't sit here and say that I don't have my moments in that, because that would just be ignorant of me. There are times, of course, where this person will have something to say about me, and then I'll get upset about it because I'm sensitive.
Sure.
You know, who are mediums, you know, other mediums. You're like, oh, no, you know. And, you know, you always think that it's good to have on all the social medias 5-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google and this and that and Yelp, et cetera, which I have. And, but boy, you can take a blow in from other people because of that, you know. And so there are times that I get insecure as well. I mean, I'm human.
Yep.
But at the same time, I always remember that, and this is anybody out there who's thinking about becoming a medium and working as a medium, please remember this one thing. Mediumship is never about you. When you are a medium, you are of service to Spirit.
Yep.
You are not of service to the human sitting in front of you or the thousands that you're standing in front of on a stage reading.
Yep.
You're not of service to those people. You are of service to be the tool for Spirit.
Yep.
So never forget that. It's never what we do. It's never about us. Without Spirit, we have nothing. We have nothing to work with. You need them to do your job as mediums.
Yep.
So the minute mediums go, me, I, that, well, never ever forget it's a we. Mm-hmm. Because without them, you have nothing. You are not a medium without Spirit.
Hey, you don't have a job.
So it's never about you.
Yeah, totally. Wow, thank you for sharing that with us. As I said, I mean, there's not one time I could say, oh, she's wrong or some. No, everything you said hits right here, you know, and we're different. I do my thing, you do yours.
100%.
And ultimately it's about love. 100% about love, trying to help people.
Absolutely.
And respecting people in pain.
Mm-hmm. If you've ever seen if you go to my website, you see one of the events I do at the casino, and you'll notice in the back of me, on the stage, curtains, there's a great big letter, great big pink word behind me. Yep. And it's huge. It's love.
Yep, love.
It's always behind me.
It is.
On the screen, it's always the word love, because that is the one thing. People will say, oh, I saw this medium and she brought through da-da-da-da. And I'm like, no, I don't bring through anyone. The connection is love. It's they love you, you love them. Love is the only thing that supersedes death.
Exactly. I totally agree.
That continues to grow, continues to be. It's the only thing that supersedes death is love.
Amen.
So I believe that love is the thing that makes the spirit world work. Now, you would have people out there say, oh, what about my, asshole dad that comes to you that I hated? Well, let me tell you something about that, because I've done a lot of radio and I always get questions like that. And why would that person step through? Because the human doesn't love them, so they think. But I guarantee you that person in the spirit world needs their own healing, and they need to come through, and they need to talk to that person and say what they have to say about apologies and whatever it is they have to say, so that, because all us humans think that, well, mediumship's about us, it's what we need.
Yeah.
We don't know what we don't know. So we don't know what it does for those in the spirit world.
Yeah.
They have the ability to communicate through a medium and use our voice box to say what they need to say. There's got to be more to it than what these humans need.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I have more times than I can tell you where the nasty person comes through and the person sitting in front of me is like, I don't want to talk to them.
Well, it's funny you.
And I'll say to them, I'm not going to disrespect spirit, so we're going to have to go with this here, you know?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they're crying and going, I didn't know, they were so sorry, they felt so bad.
Yep.
Like, yeah, the people in the spirit world, they mourn, they have emotions, they have opinions, they have feelings. Your soul, your spirit is just that.
Mm-hmm.
It's who you are.
Yes.
So your soul, your spirit goes to the spirit world.
Yep.
And all that is part of you.
Correct.
It's all in there.
Correct.
Your human body is just a vehicle,
Amen.
you know?
Yep.
So when they're in spirit, of course they have a lot to say. Of course they mourn us. Of course you have to really think about what's it like for spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Not just what is it about the humans. What me, I, me.
Yeah.
You know? Just saying, you know?
You know, it's funny
So-
when you said that. I know we're not going to talk about any individual sessions, but during our sessions, Carol and my own, that came through, and at one point, Carol was irked at the fact that it was her stepfather that came through instead of her. Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I know, I'm sorry. But what you described is exactly what happened. You know, because she wanted to speak to her dad, and in the sense, someone else came through who was also her dad, because you said that there's no stepdad dad type division. And
no steps.
Yep.
No steps, no in-laws, no nothing.
Exactly. And so, you know, you made that very clear, and at some point early on, Carol she wasn't irked at you, she was irked at the individual when they were alive and everything. And so
Absolutely.
that definitely makes sense when you were talking about that, describing about, you know, people being upset that someone else came through instead of the person they expected.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a personal thing. That's why I was able to go, hey, listen to that. Now, thank you. We're going to go on to some questions that we have and that people brought to us. And let's see what we got.
I'm like, I was waiting for you.
I know, I'm sorry.
David's a talker.
I love talking. I can't help it. Okay, so go ahead. You can present the
Yes, I wanted to ask the next one. So I noticed that you said, and I know a lot of psychics refer to them as spirit. Why not spirits? I've always wondered that. Like, why just saying spirit?
It's like saying heaven and not heavens.
Yeah, true. Good point.
Oh, yeah. Because I read a lot of books about psychics, and a lot I've watched the Long Island Medium here and there. Like this was years ago, and I had always noticed that she referred.
Thank you.
She referred to spirits as spirit. So basically, we're talking about individual when we're saying like spirit because you're talking to one, so it's spirit.
Yes.
Okay. That's what my
Did
question.
that answer that question?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. So then, like next off, like when you're
If you're gonna talk. Sorry.
when you're seeing like spirit, do they come in your head or like can you like do you see like how do they look to you? Like do they look like a normal person to you or?
Yes, they look like a normal person to me. Mm-hmm. I don't walk around seeing dead people. Everybody asks me that one. No, I don't. I used to, but now when you're working, you just kind of, when you're ready to work, you work, and you're in there, and you're in. I see them. Yeah, I see them in my mind. Sometimes I see them with my eyeballs, outside, exterior. Sometimes, either way. But I do see them as real people. I can usually describe their 6'2", white hair, a bit receding, green eyes, the type of dress they would normally wear.
Okay.
Whether they were a blue-collar worker, white-collar worker, how they passed away. So, yeah, I do see them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if this is a weird question or not, but Have you ever tried? Have you ever tried? It might be weird. I don't know. It might be a weird question. Have you ever tried to touch one and like, does your hand go right through it, or?
I have not tried to touch one. They touch me.
Oh, okay.
Many times, lots and lots of times they touch me. And I don't have to be working for that to happen. So there's many times I get.
Oh, of course. Or
someone will sit on my bed, or where was I recently? Oh, yeah, I was in the hotel, and just this past week I was in Myrtle Beach with my grandkids on the beach. And I went to bed. We had a condo, whatever, in my own room, and I had my covers all up around me like this, and I got my shirt tugged really hard underneath the covers, and I was like, and I just jumped out of bed, because it doesn't matter if you're medium or not, you're still like, you're still shocked by it. So that just happened. So no, I've never stuck my hand through one. I've never reached out to touch one.
Okay.
No, I would be like any normal human, like, what the?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm assuming that you've just been like in your house, and all of a sudden randomly you just turn your head, and all of a sudden, like, you ever get like scared, like, oh hey, I didn't see you there.
Yeah, that just happened yesterday. I was talking to my husband. We're doing FaceTime, and he's in Wisconsin, and I was like this, and it went just like this, just like that, right in front of the phone, and it was just black.
Wow.
And my thing that I do, and I can tell everyone to do this, the first thing I do in my mind, doesn't have to be out loud in your mind, the first thing I do is I say, I see you.
Mm.
That's the first thing I do. I acknowledge them instantly. I see that kind of stuff all day.
That's gotta be. That's gotta be.
It just saves my house today majorly, and my cars, and yeah.
Have you ever successfully like helped with a missing persons case ever?
There you go.
Actually found somebody successfully, and.
Yeah, with Kaukauna Paranormal, we were working with Dave. Dave is the main investigator. He's a police officer in Chicago, and I've helped with a couple of them. Not always with Dave, with a couple of other people. One in Florida a long time ago. Reached out to me. I don't know how they found me. I don't remember. I said that this person was buried on the beach, but look for this boat. I saw a name on the back of a boat. I said it's got to be near a harbor, but this is the name on the back of the boat. It's near that boat, and that's right where it was.
Wow.
And then there was another one where I said this was near what's that thing? A dam. It was an underwater in a dam. It was near the dam. And this was a missing persons for like ever, apparently. And this one was in Chicago. And they did an underwater search in the spring, and it was right where I said it was. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, that.
There's been other times, by the way, that I've said yes, you're here. Just to say, I'm not 100%. Just saying.
Okay. That's amazing. It's funny you say that. I had a case. I was approached because they found out about us, and I was approached by somebody who a missing persons case, I guess, and this individual has been trying for like 15 years to find this person. Like at least where the remains were, and we were at one location that she brought me there, and I felt. Two parts. It was in the restroom area, and before, when she got, let's say when she was quote unquote murdered, there was some question about this property anyway. So she brought me there, and I felt something. And when you're in the area, I would like to maybe take you over there if you have the time, and maybe see if you feel the same thing or see someone. This is actually a fairly well-known case, and it was a serial killer that murdered this young lady, and we'll get on that in the future, but it's very similar to what you described that I was being asked about. And so when that happens, when you get here, let's talk and see if you...
Yeah, but this is a public facility that she's murdered in, correct?
Correct. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It was under construction at the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see it in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh? What's the question?
So, not a random question, but have you ever like seen the ghost of a religious figure ever?
Oh, am I? That's a question I get often. That's a good question. Not really, not that I can think of.
Okay.
My mom used to see Mary Magdalene all the time.
Oh,
wow.
That's impressive.
Yeah. But I've not. I've never seen Mary Magdalene.
Okay.
No.
Interesting.
Not that I can think of. I've seen like Jesus come through in a spirit reading, in a mediumship reading, but I'm not walking around or wherever you're at or in my house seeing anybody come in that's a religious figure. No.
Okay.
Wow, that's quite amazing.
How did he look in that reading?
He doesn't look like everybody thinks.
Oh, okay.
I agree. Yep.
He looks more like, I would say, the portrait that the little girl's famous for. Just a little tiny girl who
that from Proof of Heaven. That there was it was
big blue eyes, and he doesn't have green eyes. He's got blue eyes.
Okay, so basically,
curly hair.
really similar to that painting, then, eh?
To me, how I see it when it comes through in a reading, that's how. Yeah, it's that painting is how I would say.
That's interesting.
Because I remember seeing that new movie the very first time, and I stood up and I started yelling, pointing at the TV with my husband. I'm like, "That's how he looks. That's it. How does she know that?"
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I hadn't realized that who she was yet. I didn't really know the story yet.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Okay.
That is, it is quite amazing because, I come from that lineage from the Middle East. My ancestry is from Israel originally. And so it's a very close to my heart. And there are some things that people, like over the history in Europe especially, they anglicized Jesus. Okay, it made him very Central European. And if you really look at it, I've always thought that he was very much he would have been more Middle Eastern because that's where he was from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think we all like see him in our own way.
True.
But the bottom line, he does.
One of those subjects I don't generally touch with.
Yeah. But the bottom line is that a lot of people that have envisioned him, a lot of people that have seen him, I have yet to come across, I've seen a lot of people say that he looks like that, that painting. Never, ever once have I heard anybody say that he looks like those statues and those, all those, just random, pictures of him that people, the popular ones, with the really long hair.
Like the Roman depiction.
Yeah. I have yet to hear somebody that says he looks like that.
That's what I see from time to time when he pops in a reading. He's usually popping in to tell somebody that he's real. So.
I believe he's real, yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Oh, I definitely believe that he existed at one point and all the other stuff. We want to get some of the people who have sent us questions for you, kind of get them on board, and and I'll announce their name as well. Let's see. Okay, so the first one I'm going to start with is Odessa Clay, and she says, "What is the difference between individuals that are mediums and those that have psychic abilities?" Then she goes, "That's the question mark," and then she goes, "Mediums work with spirits. World and psychics work with the mind and emotions."
Question mark.
Because
I thought it was a statement first.
It's an excellent question. I get the question a lot.
Okay.
And I'm going to describe it like this. Mediums are people who blend with spirit. They work with spirit. Spirit works with them. It's a blend. Without spirit, you can do nothing. It's like being a radio receiver.
Okay.
You as the medium are the tool for spirit. It's receiving information. When you're working psychically, it's a perception.
Okay. Perception, that's a good word.
You're perceiving information. Okay, you're looking for the information. You're looking out. You're perceiving information. Okay, you're looking for it. When you're working as a psychic, it's a perception. And receiving is working with spirit. Okay. So when you're working with spirit, you've had a reading with me. You just wait.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make it happen.
Yep.
You can't go get the information. You receive what you receive.
Mm-hmm.
and then you deliver what you're receiving.
Yep.
When you're working as a psychic, it's a perception. You perceive.
Yep.
And you go look for the information.
Correct. Yeah. So you have an
Completely
idea.
different things.
So you have an idea as a psychic in a sense, but as a medium, you're like an operator as a medium. You're in between the spirit and the person that needs the information.
Yes, I mean, you're the radio receiver,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, when you're working as a medium, your job is to be completely neutral, be in the space of neutral and nothingness, really, okay? And have absolutely no idea about, if you go on my website, you'll read on my website, please refrain, it says right on my website, please refrain from using the last names or giving any information in the reading. So
Correct.
right on my website. Because it's easier as a medium to know absolutely nothing and hear, see, feel, do whatever from spirit so that I don't have to work so hard.
Yeah.
If you're telling me something,
I like
have
that.
to sit in my mind and go, did he say that? Or did I hear that from them? Or did I see what? Well, where's that? I don't want to work that hard.
Yep,
No
yep.
way. You know? So to know absolutely nothing and trust in spirit 100%.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
And just be in a place of neutralness. Allow them to fill up your funnel, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then out the end of the funnel is the words that they need you to tell them. And
Correct.
sometimes it comes in pictures and videos, emotions, a knowing,
That's a lot like mine.
hearing, you know, all at once it can come to, and you just have to be so fast and quick and pick what's really, really good and just follow as fast as you can.
Yep.
And then deliver it in a way that the person sitting in front of you can understand it, and just hope it all works out.
Yeah. And that's pretty much that's how it works with me when I bring mediums and when I bring psychic mediums in to do like a case. You get nothing from me. You're coming into the case blind. That's how it works on the team. Oh.
Sorry.
Well, I said when it comes to bringing in like a psychic medium onto the team to like help with cases and stuff like that, that's exactly how it works on the team. You get nothing. You're coming in blind.
Absolutely, and it should be, because it's easier to work that way. The minute somebody sits down and wants to start telling me something, I will immediately stop them, because I have to work a hell of a lot harder and then separate, and it's like sifting flour and hoping you get a good grain. You
Yep.
know, it's
Yeah,
so
exactly.
terrible. So
Exactly.
it's
I can very much
much
relate.
easier to know nothing. What's that?
I said I can very much relate to you. While you were listing off these things, I looked at them and said, that's a lot like what I do.
Oh yeah.
You know, because I deal with people when they're, like, as I said, I'm an energy healer per se. And, you know, the hardest part for me at first, the first 15 years, I was so worried about what people thought of me as I was working on them that I was overworking myself. You know what I mean? And you know, you gotta, like you said, it's cut and dry. You know,
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. 1 + 1 = 2.
Because whenever I have you work on somebody,
Yeah.
I fully believe in you already, but I bring you in blind because I want that person to believe in you too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of how we do it. And it's funny how, even though we do different things, a lot of the ground rules are the same.
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, and as a healer, it should be.
Yeah.
You know? I think that for you, my instincts is that for you, you chose the healing. Once you knew that was something that was really working, you went all in and you went for that, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's what you do. But is there a lot more to it for you? Probably.
Oh yeah. You know, and I'm.
But you stayed in the arena that you were most comfortable, and maybe that's your thing.
It is. As I said earlier, like yourself, my true goal was to just. I hate watching people in pain. It like kills me because I'm watching them, and if I can't do anything, I want to cry with them. You know. And so when I was a little boy, I already started. You know, where I would see someone in pain, and I would just do whatever I could to make them feel better. You know, and it didn't always work. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where you have to really trust what you're doing, no matter what. And I can only imagine in your position, you got 100, maybe 1,000 eyes looking at you. Okay, and because I watched you doing one of your big sessions where there's multiple people, and I was thinking to myself, because I felt stuff as well, but wow, what is the pressure? And these people are thinking, wow, you're false, you're fake, because that's what people do. That's why they're there to either prove you wrong or prove you right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same in my arena. And I, over the years, the stress got to me, and one day I said, you know what? I don't give a darn what people think. I'm here to help you, okay?
Well, I think for anybody that's going to go out there and work, whether it's in a healer or whatsoever, to see me on stage like that, I mean, believe me, it's nerve-wracking when you first start. Once I'm in the zone and I'm in,
Yep.
I'm in. It's like being in a bubble and breathing air. But, when you first walk out there, my heart's racing, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But the biggest thing for anybody, all your listeners, is that if you're going to do something like that, or even a one-on-one reading, because you're doing the same job, whether you're in front of 1,000 or you're in front of 1, it's the same job.
Yep.
So remember that, number 1. And number 2, trust spirit. I mean, think about what we do walking out there in front of 100, 500, or 1,000 people and nothing other than spirit.
Yep.
That's a gig. That's what you got.
Yep.
So you really have to be able to walk out there and trust spirit 1,000%. 1,000%. And sometimes I'll just take the time I need to get ready, and I'll just sit still for a minute, and then poof, I'm off. So once you're in the zone, you don't even see the people. You just see everything that you're seeing in your mind, and listening to spirit and delivering it. So,
I remember watching.
trusting
I'm
spirit
sorry.
is a big one.
I remember.
Focused.
I'm sorry. I keep on interrupting.
That's okay.
I remember when we were there, me and him were there, and we were in the back area where all the concessions were for us. I don't know if you remember that back area. And I remember standing next to you, and I was watching you because you were next. You were on next, and there was this preparation. You know what I mean? Because you were very, very focused, getting ready to go out there, and I picked up on that instantly.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to. I picture myself in a cylinder and just white light in there and saying, "Okay, don't leave me alone out there. You got me, right?" I to them,
Yeah.
And then you're up there and you're like, "All right, let's rock and roll." And usually, I like to try to figure out that I have a couple of people with me before I'm going to walk out there. A couple of spare people with me.
Yeah.
And one of the funniest thing about it is I've done many, many gigs out there at the casino, and you think you've got this, and this person out there, which they train you in England, never, ever do read from memory, ever. And it's drilled into you. And meaning don't have a person with you in the back row before you walk on stage. You think that's who you're going to bring out and deliver to somebody.
Yeah.
And so I know better. And so it sure makes it comfortable when you're a medium.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I got all these people. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to blow them away because I got this guy over here. You get out there and you do your focus and it's always somebody else.
Yep.
Whoever was with you was almost like a support team or something.
Yeah.
There's always somebody new when you're like, okay, I'm with you over there in the back, and it's just like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be really challenging. I tell you, it's got to be really challenging. We have another question for you. Huh?
All right.
What?
Never mind.
This one right here,
And
right?
thank you, Odessa, by the way. I just want to say thank you because you're
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Great question.
a party, so
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Odessa. Yeah, definitely. What were you... Do we want to... Yeah, she is doing it.
okay.
Yeah, yes. Sorry, we needed some clarification
I
here.
just needed to clarify
All
something.
right, we're going to give you...
We'll be doing readings in a little bit here.
you are so amazing. I don't care. I don't care what he says about
I
you.
just I just needed to clarify the what.
Yes. We are a bit goofy. The team is very goofy, but we're good people. Okay, so
I wouldn't be here if I didn't know that about you.
I appreciate that. That's a great honor.
Yeah,
Great
me
honor.
and him not on team time. I mean, yeah, not. I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't call it professional. Really.
Okay, maybe him not, but I am.
I'd call it more like Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, I think I'm looking for a new team. Okay, so next question. I like her. All right. The one question, and it's from me directly because I want to see what you say about it. Do you ever get scared by your ability and your job?
I don't get scared from it any longer. However, I'm always humbled and mind blown by spirit and what they're capable of. The example is, reading for you, and the only reason I remember this is because it was so unusual that I remember a spirit. This is one of the things that I wasn't scared, but I was like, "Are you've been kidding me? This is happening right now?"
Yeah.
You know, you think as a medium, and 20 years of working as a medium, you've heard or seen it all. You know, and this shocked me, and it was so amazing that when I was reading for you and your wife, that there was a boy, a suicide, that came through and wanted to thank you for investigating his house and putting his parents at ease that the spirit in their house was indeed the boy. And that blew my mind.
And I'm very...
I just wanted to come through.
Yep.
And thank you.
Yeah, that was cool.
And so, you know, I'm not scared anymore. Even with the shadow people, this, that, I'm reading for people and I've dodged, you know, spirit people and things like that coming at me. And they're like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was just moving out of the way." You know? You know, I'm always amazed and humbled every reading. There's never two readings alike. And that reading for you just blew my mind. I mean, I was just like, did that just happen? Like, a person was like, what?
I really have to dig deep into the archives, yeah.
So that was amazing to me.
I really got to dig deep into the archives, because I really have to find
hang
that
on,
case.
hang on,
It's bugging me that I can't find that
about
case.
that. Let's clarify on this. I know exactly what you were talking about. It wasn't actually an investigation. We did a walkthrough. And during the walkthrough, we were able to pick that up. But it was normally we archive investigations. That one wasn't archived because it was just a walkthrough, and we determined that the activity somehow settled. Okay, whatever they were and this particular walkthrough, they were more curious than anything else. They wanted to see if there was credence to what they were sensing. Okay, and so when you. And what really got me was when you described the tattoo on the man's arm at the end of the dad. And that exactly happened. That happened. I don't know if Josh was there, but he and I were talking, and he pulled up his sleeve, and I saw the picture of his son. And I was like, oh my God,
that's what the son had said, right?
Yeah.
The son had come through and said, "Tell my dad I know about the tattoo."
And the moment you said it, I'm like, oh my God, I know which one that was. And so that really gave you a lot of credence to me, because you weren't even thinking about this kid, but because my wife's father was there, okay, and you actually pushed that aside and go, okay, this kid is persistent.
Right, he was really persistent. I remember that. He was just, and that's the thing about, for your listeners, that's the thing about trusting spirit, is when you do this long enough, I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to say or sound like I'm perfect, because I'm so not. Sure. But, you know, when you trust spirit enough, I mean, I remember reading from the dead, this, like, when there was 2 dads or something like that.
Yeah.
And then this kid was just like, do in my face. And I'm like, look, kid. And I knew it wasn't DNA. I knew it didn't go with either one of you per se, as he had a message to use me, to use you, to get to who he wanted. And that does happen. It's rare, but it does happen. And that was just one of those things where it's just mind-blowing. Yeah. So to answer your question, I don't really get scared any longer. Even when not very nice people come through, there's nasty grandmas or pedophile parents that come through. Yeah. You know, there's all kinds of things that come through that aren't all that great. But as the medium, your job is to deliver. Your job isn't to assess. Your job is to deliver.
Yep.
Can you?
And because you never know how it's going to heal the person across from you.
Amen. Totally.
Are you ever able to just, like, turn it all off?
Sure.
If you need to. Okay.
Yeah. I drink a lot of wine.
Hey, when you come over, we'll have a few glasses. I love wine. I love wine.
I was just on the beach in Myrtle Beach. You know.
Jealous.
So, I turn it off. I always see things. I always experience things, whether I'm working or not working. You don't turn it on. You don't turn it off. When you hear that from people who say they're psychic mediums and they just turn it off, I don't believe that they're real psychic mediums, because you would if you're a real one, it's not impossible. Being a medium is who you are and what you do. Mm-hmm. Okay? Correct. It's all the same. It's all one. It's like getting up and going to work in the morning. It's always there. You know, things that I do is like to sleep at night. I wear earplugs and an eye mask. Okay. Still get touched, still get poked, still get tucked in, still get my shirts tucked. Just happened last week. You know, you just kind of like say in your mind as a medium, just like stop, like leave me alone. Things like that. And you get really firm with them because you have to realize that when you're a medium, you're like a lighthouse at the end of a pier, and your light is shining at the top of your head. You as a medium may not know that, you know, but it is. And the spirit world knows where a medium is. And they're like, oh, there's one, you know. And if your person is anywhere near that they want to get to, they're going to show up, you know. So you don't, you know, you're the pier, you're the lighthouse on the end of the pier as a medium. It's the truth. And as a metaphor, so it doesn't stop for me. I see shadow people all the time. I see it's just, you know, like I said, I could be reading and I'll just be like, as I see this ball of light coming at me.
Yep.
And I say to people, and you can ask them, my clients, like, did you see that? They're like, nope, but I saw you move. I'm like, no.
That is funny.
Because I'll ask, because I don't want to be the only person that sees these things and be crazy, you know? I want other people to see this stuff too, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I'm not scared of it anymore, no.
Yeah. So at some point, it was very overwhelming. I'm sure when you first got into it, you know, I mean, that's obviously I call it a spiritual gift that you have, you know, and it's a universal, in my opinion, it's a universal connection. Like, as you said, you're a beacon, okay? And you're the beacon in the darkness for them.
Yes.
You know?
Yes,
And
I
so,
agree.
and that's divine as far as I'm concerned. It's a divine...
I give all the credit to spirit because without them, I'm not a medium. So.
That's right. That's right. All right, let's do this. We did talk about doing a short reading.
Are there any other questions?
There's tons, but what's our time right now?
How much time you got?
Number 9. Pick number 9.
Wow.
Pick the 9th one.
Explain your best and worst psychic experience.
You're good.
Wow. You're good. You are very good.
Okay. My best and worst psychic experience. That's a great question.
Thank you. I wrote it.
When it comes to the best, I can think of so many.
Yeah.
But he, I think it is, says psychic, the word psychic. Psychic experiences. That's different than mediumship. Okay, psychic experiences.
Well, it could be the same thing. You
It's
know.
not the same thing.
Okay.
So, they're two different things.
I
She
goobered
told
up.
you.
I goobered up.
My best psychic experience. That's so hard to answer. Predicting the market crashing.
Wow.
Watching, you know, that kind of thing. You know, because I was a corporate psychic for many years in Canada first, when I first started my career. So, corporate psychic is somebody who helps other people invest via your gift. Okay,
Yep.
So that's how I started as a psychic.
That's pretty awesome.
So I think that was really pleasurable for me to see other people gain, you know, in a psychic way, rather than, am I going to find a boyfriend? You know, I have 2 really cool ones that are people predictions, where both my friend Anne and my friend Dawn, I predicted their boyfriends to come. My timing was off, okay? My timing was not correct. Let's say that right away.
Okay.
But the height, what they did for a living, like the one gentleman I predicted who's coming to Anne's life now, I predicted that he drove a black truck, that he was in construction, something to do with concrete, that he was a widow, and the number 48 kept coming up.
Oh, okay.
My friend Anne, 7 years later, I thought it was right around the corner. It was not. His name was an M, and his name is with an M. I don't want to say it out loud, but his name is with an M. When she met him, he was 48. He's widowed, drives 2 black trucks, and he works for Myron as a latest pavement.
Really?
So that was pretty cool. That's one of the really, really fun things. And she's a really good friend of mine now, and she tells everybody, she's like, well, he's predicted, and he knows he's predicted. So, and then most recently, my friend, just 2 months ago, a different friend, met this gentleman, and I said he was going to be a farmer, and that he had a ponytail and salt and pepper and a beard, and that he was into farming and organic everything, and that he'd be the same age as her, and he hasn't dated in like a long time. And she just met him. He's a farmer. He has a ponytail. He has a facial beard. And he, whatever the last thing was, too, I don't remember what I just said, but that all came true, too. So it was pretty crazy. I mean, just right to the T, right to the money. It was crazy. So, yeah. Oh, and I just told a lady in a reading the other day that she was in New York, something was over the phone, and she wanted to know about her daughter. I said, give me your daughter's name. She gave me the name, and I said, she's going to meet like the Jane Goodall of the marine biology, I said, she's going to meet her, and she's going to connect with her. She'll go to college in Santa Fe. In California, somewhere in California.
San Francisco?
Whatever. And 2 days later, she called me back, this lady, and she's like, she went on Facebook, had put a bicycle for sale on Facebook.
Okay.
This lady gets a hold of her, says, hey, I'd like to buy your bicycle. Comes over to look at the bicycle, gives her the money, and shaking hands, got to talking. Turns out she's the Jane Goodall of the marine biology. She got her daughter into the college. This was just 2 days ago.
Oh my
and they
God.
met, and it all freaking happened like 4 days after I said it would happen.
That's amazing.
It was crazy. She called me back. She's like, you're like a magician. I'm like, no, I just see stuff. That's okay. You know?
Yeah.
And it was so those are the best. Those are three of the ones I can say were like amazing. They're accurate that I got feedback on. You know? Without feedback, you don't have anything.
Well, that's the same for me. It's like communication is so important because while I'm working on people, if I'm feeling stuff but they're not, it's like, okay, let's go back. All right, fine, you're not feeling it, and later on they call you and go, holy crap, timing is everything,
Now, have you ever?
Hang on one second. I just want to say the worst part.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Sorry,
yes.
What's your question? The worst part, I think, is the worst part psychically is when I try to read for my husband about a situation in his life, and I'm almost always wrong. And the reason for that is because I think I'm too close to the situation, and you want so much for that person, so you cannot come at it in a place of neutral and clarity.
Totally agree.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So when it comes to the worst, I think that's the worst I do is like try to read for him or say, oh, this is going to happen, and then it doesn't. Except I did tell him he's going to dump his motorcycle in Japan, and he needed to bring an extra pair of jeans, and it was on a corner, and that did happen. He called me up and said, he told me, and I could see the scrape on his hands, and they're like, what happened to you? He's like, well, remember when you said I was going to dump my motorcycle? I said, yeah. He's like, yeah, it happened. I'm like, okay. Did you bring an extra pair of jeans? Yep, I did.
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
There's that. So go ahead with your question. Sorry, I just wanted to address the whole question.
Have you ever predicted the lottery for anybody successfully, like big or small?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. There's a client, her name is Karen, I won't say her last name, she's a friend of mine now, and has been for many years, but her very first reading, I told her she would keep playing the lottery because she was going to win $10,000 in a lottery. And so many years went by where we became friends, whatever. We used to joke about it, but that didn't happen. And we would just joke and drink more wine, And then she called me up one day, she goes, you sitting down? And I go, yeah, are you okay? I was concerned.
Yeah.
She's like, I just won the $10,000 that you said I would win 4 years ago.
No.
She's like, no, it was on a scratch off.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up.
That's awesome.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. So that happened.
Nice.
All right. Are you done with your question? Yeah.
Do you have more questions?
Well, we're going to do one more question, and then I don't know what our timing is on this.
No, we can go for as long as as long as she wants, we can go.
All right.
That's the beauty of doing it this way. We don't have any time limit.
Cool. So this is going to be a little different than usual. We usually give ourselves an hour, but with you being our special guest, go as long as you want. Okay. All right. So the next one I'd like to ask, and let's actually look at one.
No new questions in here.
Okay. All right. So the next one I'd like to ask is, what does the spirit look like to you? I know we asked that question earlier, but what does LoriAnn see when she is communicating with the spirit?
You're a little bit muffled. awfully. So did you ask what does spirit look like to me?
Yes.
But they look like people. Kind of like addressing his question from earlier.
Yeah, I was going to say, she said that.
They
Stand
look
by.
like
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so no transparency going through. They're just like someone standing right in front of you, right? I'm sorry. Did you copy that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just like somebody. To me, they're always to my right.
Elaboration. I see what you're doing there.
Behind, and they've just been doing it long enough for them to come behind on and step forward. And so, yeah.
And when you, again, one more question. When you see a spirit that is trying to communicate, is there a light about? Is there like a dim light, a wide light? Is there any light coming off of them that, like an aura?
No.
Okay.
No, they just look like people.
Can you see auras? Can you see auras?
I cannot see auras.
Oh, okay.
Neither can I.
No. I would love to. My granddaughter tells people about their auras all the time. She's 11. So, yeah, she was telling me on the beach, she's like, you're purple today, Grandma. I'm like,
That's awesome.
Your aura changes every second. It's like a mood ring. It's
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot based on emotions. So let's say you're happy, your aura is going to be a different color versus you're angry or anything else.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, can you imagine being a woman and say, you're yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You hear the colors every second.
Yeah. And you can hear them too, right? Not just see them?
Yeah, I can hear them.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she has conversations.
Now, like actual, like how they would sound in real life, or are they like quieter? Because, you have to use the energy that they, to be able to do that.
It's a really great question because it's very different. It varies.
Okay.
If you have an excellent, how their personality was here is generally how their personality is there. If they were a quieter, more withdrawn person, I'll be trying to work with that spirit person, and I'll know, and I'll say to my client, I'll say, this person's not a very talkative person in nature, in generally correct? And they'll say yes. I'll say, I can tell because trying to get him to talk to me is very difficult, where I'll ask him to show me pictures, and that's not a problem for him, okay, or a video. So I don't always hear them right off the bat. A lot of times I'll see something, I'll know something, it'll be an emotion, I'll see a video play, that they'll give me. It could be a variety of things all at the same time. So to answer your question, it's different every time. Sometimes they're really loud. Kids are usually really loud. Yeah. Young kids, teens are usually really, really loud, where I'll be like, whoa, okay. Or if you just have somebody, you got the favorite crazy aunt, who's an artist, wore great big bright red shirts with green lapels and whatever underneath. That personality is a very loud personality. That's exactly how they come through.
Okay. Have you ever?
It's different every time. It's different.
Has a spirit ever like physically injured you?
Once, yes.
Okay.
It was a long time ago, and I knew he wasn't a good person. I was doing a home event. I was doing 10 people in a home, and I could see him standing over the curtains. I remember this like it was yesterday because it was the only time this ever happened. And I felt him come in. I could see what he looked like and everything, and I described him, and everyone in the room didn't want to talk to him. Everybody, because it was a family event. And I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Wow. I was like, okay. And I'm trying to get him to stay over there, and I was talking with my hands like I do. And right from my wrist to my elbow in front of everybody, he scratched me. So it happened right in front of everybody. Everybody saw it happen. And he was just not a nice man. So that was it.
It's
the only time I've ever. And again, he was just a cranky man. He wasn't like people talk about dark and evil and bad. And I mean, I get talked about by the religious people as a witch every day. So okay, So to each his own. But spirit doesn't generally hurt you. This guy was just a very sassy man. He was just not nice.
Yeah, to what you said about about it being like called a witch. I think there's a big difference between a witch and an actual a medium, a psychic medium. There is a big difference.
There's a huge difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So So if you don't mind, I was attacked several times by different spirits at different times. And literally physically, like you said, you got scratched. Something, this entity, I didn't see the entity, but they literally reached inside me and I could feel my heart like pumping. And I was completely distracted at the time. So when it occurred to me, it was like someone shot me. And I got up and I was gasping for air and I felt violated. Completely violated. And the other one...
That man didn't want you on his property.
Well, I was living there, and you're right. My daughters kept on telling me of this man, which is, I love you so much. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It was a male, and she said, Daddy, he hates you. And again, being gifted like that, I have a certain energy. You know what I mean? And
yeah, well, they want to stop the light workers is what they want to do.
Yep.
So, it is what it is, and it's good that you don't live there anymore.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was happy to get out of there.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
There are not nice things out there for sure.
Amen.
As a medium, I generally don't experience a lot of that. I feel I'm very protected by spirit in choosing me and being bestowed upon as a medium to be a medium for them.
Yep.
So with that said, I feel pretty protected. But working with Chicago Paranormal, I can tell you numerous stories about Dave, it's always Dave, poor Dave, getting slapped or scratched or burned or, on investigations. We walked into my house where I used to live. We sold it since, but he wasn't in there 3 seconds. And from his ear down to here, but there's pictures online on it, just completely bleeds your blood. And then later in the evening, 3 big scratches across his back.
That almost sounds demonic.
Sorry?
That almost sounds demonic.
Yeah, it wasn't good. That house has sold 3 times since I sold it.
Wow. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I want to ask you another question. And this one,
sure.
Let's see. With your gift and everything, and then you becoming a medium, did you, have you ever suffered because of it, like financially, personally? Has there ever been anything that you had to deal with because, even from childhood on, because of your special gifts?
Oh my gosh, in so many ways.
Okay.
So many ways. Well, starting when you're little, where we're don't know it. I lived in the art room. I am an artist, thank goodness. So it's my outlet to be me. So, being the weirdo, but then I used to psychically pick on people when they would pick on me. And I would say things back to them that I would know about them or whatever that they couldn't reveal or didn't reveal to me, and then they would leave me alone because I was the weirdo. So I would get them to leave me alone. So that wasn't very, you don't know enough. Now never to use your gift for something that you don't have permission for. Now you know that, but as a kid you don't know that.
Yeah.
So I think that way for sure, being the weirdo, not fitting in, coming out, quote unquote, was not easy coming out as a medium. I was one of the first mediums ever in the state of Wisconsin to come out and say, hey, this shit's real.
Wow.
So I know that for sure. It's in the history books actually for the state of Wisconsin. And so, as far as it hindering me, yeah, and when I overwork now, if I do 4 readings a day, 3 days in a row, I don't even know my own name by the 4th day. Yeah, my husband will be like, I'll say I'll have 5, and he'll be looking at me and shake his head. He goes, no, you don't. I'm like, yeah, there's 5 today. Because I'm a secretary, I don't book my own stuff because
I know that.
barrier between knowing anything about people and being accused of it when someone else is booking all your stuff.
Yep.
So and they don't get an opportunity to get you on the phone and tell you everything before you can stop them. So it really puts the barrier there to keep everything in the neutral zone.
Yeah.
So, I think how it hinders me in the now is just overworking. And when I work, I counted last month, was 62 readings in a month. So
that's impressive.
It's not impressive. It's stupid.
Okay.
So when everybody out there can hear me right now, when you can't get in for 3 weeks, it's because you want quality, not quantity.
Amen. Yes.
So, I am not going to do 5 readings a day and push one out and hope it was good. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's to me, the connections with spirit and myself are worth waiting for due to the detail. You know, so it's not arrogance, it's confidence, and I'd rather do quality than quantity any day. So when I go, the answer to the question is, that's detrimental to me when I overwork myself.
Okay.
So it felt so good to be on vacation for 5 days.
Oh, I bet.
Oh my God.
I definitely bet.
Like
I mean,
anybody.
yeah, any job, you know. I remember when you back in the North Star Casino, you were talking about your history as far as how you got educated and stuff, and you went to England. And I remember you saying my own personal Hogwarts. Okay, can you?
That's pretty much it.
Yep, and it stuck with me because you're in England, you're inside of a castle, okay, and you were paying a lot of money for it. I remember you making that comment, and you want to tell us in your own words your experience at Hogwarts.
Again, 2006 was the first time I ever went, and I continued to do so for 13 years. I would stay there for just months at a time sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
My experience there is home. You know, it's home. It's your electric blanket, and you get to keep it on the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's Easter Bunny. You know, you're like everyone else. You're not. You're completely like everyone else. You're supported in a way that you're not supported with all the muddles, in the world.
Okay.
So we call them muddles. So, you know.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that there's a real life Hogwarts?
It's just
Okay.
Sorry, 1 second. Why didn't you go the other way? Okay.
talking about Hogwarts.
Yeah.
It's just home. It's like everyone else, and it's not easy there. You cry a lot because if they see potential in you, which, you know, I didn't know that the first couple of times I went there, that they saw the potential that they did in me, so they were really hard on me.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of crying. They literally, it's like, they break you down and they rebuild you the right way. All the falsities that you bring to being gifted and mediumship, such as, you know, having to do this, or having to go,
Thank you.
or having, I mean, there's so many things they break, really ridiculous habits that we socially have come up with to make ourselves special, if you will. They break all those habits from you. They strip you down to nothing, and they rebuild you the right way.
That sounds like the Marine Corps.
What's that?
That sounds like the Marine Corps. Marine Corps.
It's they're hardcore. It's not I'm going to hold your hand and give you a hug place by any means.
Wow.
You gotta, you know, as a place of sensitivity, you know, of everyone's super sensitive who's there. Their motto is, do you want to be a good medium or do you want to be a great medium? Because if you don't want to be a great medium, get out.
Yeah. Definitely.
If you want to be a great medium, then sit your ass down, shut up, and listen. That's pretty much what they're like.
Well, and that's why which one? I can't remember which one.
Are
Is
we
this the mic?
basically...
Is this the mic? Or is this one?
The
Can you hear
mic's down
me?
there, yeah. Yeah, the mic's down there.
Okay. And can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so, God, you made me...
That's my experience. I mean, it's lovely. I mean, the teachers there are the best in the world, in my opinion.
Sure.
Okay. In my opinion, they're the best in the world. And there is a Janet Nohavik, who used to be a teacher and still at times is a teacher at the Arthur Findlay College, has a place in New Jersey. And she is somebody who, I remember her giving me a reading at the Arthur Findlay College. I think it was in 2010. And she had said to me, oh, you're going to be on stage in front of thousands of people.
Awesome.
And I said, I don't even want to be in front of one person. I'm never going to be on stage. No way. And I said, that's never happening. And I thought she was ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And as we all know, that's all happened. So there's many, many things that they said to me there, that many of the teachers, that things like, you're the real deal. And I'm like, isn't everybody here the real deal? you know? And they're like, yeah, I'm like, okay, you know? And, you know, things like that where I didn't know enough to believe in myself. You know, they warn you about arrogancy. They warn you about getting overconfident. They warn you about, you know, they teach what I just said, which is that you work for spirit. You don't work for the humans, and it's never about you. And that's an easy thing to stand on stage and to have them say to you. But it's years and years of going there before you realize and you pull your own humility away from oneself and realize, oh, this isn't about me, is it? You know? So, you know, that doesn't come to a Leo easily.
No way.
I have it.
You're Leo?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I have it now, but this is not something that was easily achieved by me. It was a lot of tears and a lot of layers being peeled off of me by the teachers who believed in me and said, hey, this isn't about you. Sit your fucking ass down and shut up. You know, next. You know,
Amen.
This was not an easy place to go, but it makes you who I am today.
So can I ask, do you mind if I ask your birthday? The date?
Sorry?
Can I ask it? Can you hear me now?
You can ask the day, but not the year.
I just want the day. I don't care about the year.
What?
Yeah, July 28th. Yeah.
I'm August 18th.
Oh, so you're going on the spectrum of a Virgo as well. Yeah.
And a Leo, the sun in the sky. That's what we are, you know. So
Never ask a woman the year.
I didn't ask, but what the thing about, you know, you talk a lot about ego, and we discussed it earlier, and I can't agree with you more, that the ego itself can be the biggest detriment, or detriment, right? Detriment?
Yeah.
To
Detriment.
to having the, you know, especially for people with abilities, that gets in the way a lot. And I have to learn the hard way.
Absolutely. I mean, my mom used to say to me, like, oh, LoriAnn, you know, I could shoot an arrow and tell you where to go, but you're going to take the roundabout, aren't you? And I'd just be like, you know?
I'm going to do it anyway.
So, you know, she's in the spirit world now, but, yeah, boy, that woman knew me better than I knew me, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, it's just, you know, it's just not an easy place to go. It's the right place to go if you're serious about your mediumship. If you're not serious about your mediumship and you're going there just to make money, they'll sniff it out and kick you out. I've seen many people get kicked out. Many.
Yep. Good.
So
that's good.
They don't care. They have a reputation to uphold, which is producing some of the world's best mediums. And there's a show on, I think it's Hulu or it's YouTube, Netflix. I'm not sure. It's called. So many people are talking about it right now.
It's the one that's a near-death experience type stuff?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's all done, you know, and I know all of those people. I know Colin Bates, I know Sandy.
Wow.
The show came on, I said to my husband, oh, that's da-da-da-da-da. And then they put their names up, and he goes, oh, you do know all those people. I'm like, yes, I know all those people.
That's amazing.
You know, so
that's amazing.
It's just, you know, if you're going to be the best at what you do, and I'm not saying I'm the best, there's definitely people better than myself in the world, but if you want to be trained by the best, go there.
Okay.
Or train with me, because I train just like they do. I don't put up with anything.
Amen. Yeah, you know, you don't come across like a sugar coater, so you're definitely not a sugar coater.
No. That's right in the testimony. I was like, so tell you what you think. Don't ask a question you don't want to know the answer to.
Yep.
There you go.
There you go. It's awesome. Well, you are so amazing. You and you know, I'll be honest with you. When I first met you, and when I watched you, I looked at my wife and said, "She's a real hard ass." I really did. It's like, damn, this woman don't take nothing. You know, like you could be an MP in the Marine Corps. You know, but.
You know, there's a right way and a wrong way to do things.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be my way, especially because people are gifted in so many different ways that I necessarily don't really know, but have seen come out of people, and it just intrigues the hell out of me. There's this one girl who's a really good friend of mine now. She came to me just to start sitting in circles and listening, and I started training her, and I knew I got her as far as I could go, and she wasn't really going to develop into what I felt she thought she was going to develop into, and I ended up sending her in a completely different direction into trance mediumship, because I don't teach that, but I knew and I saw that in her, and so I sent her to the right teacher, I wasn't her teacher. I knew I wasn't her teacher. I mean, I was to a certain point, but I knew that she was going to be much different than what I could do. And so that's something to know about me is I'll always send you to the right teacher if I'm not your teacher.
That says a lot about you.
The money.
That says a lot about you, though. That it's not, as you said, not about the money. It's about the quality. Okay, and it's about the truth, because it's all about truth. It's not about fake. It's not about lies or anything like that. And that's one thing I admire about you, because I can read body language. I can read a lot of body language. I was trained by Homeland Security to do so. And I was watching you, and I'm like, because I'm always a skeptic, no matter how you look at it. Okay, I'm the hardest on me. I'm the hardest on myself. So I was watching you, and I was listening to your words, and I'm like, if I were to think or try to see your fakeness, I couldn't find it. Honestly, I could not. Even
it's too short to
even your verbiage was direct. It was to the point. It was.
Well, I went to law school, so.
Okay. Bravo. Well, you're truly gifted. That's awesome.
That's where that comes from. It's about the precision winning your case.
Yeah, and as I said, you were like, I couldn't see anything, even the words you were saying. And then, of course, after the incident with the young gentleman that came to you, I was already, like, in awe. I was shocked. I'm like, where did that just come from, you know? And so Spirit, yes. But as an individual, you have to represent that. You know what I mean? When in your profession.
You know, ethics and morals, you're not going to get far. You know, don't think for 5 seconds you're going to dupe Spirit.
Yeah.
They'll have a better and different idea.
Of course. Yeah. 100%.
So,
Hey. You know, we represent.
Karma.
Oh, well, Carol's got tons of stuff to talk to you about recently, especially about karma. When, like, she'll be mean to me playfully, and all of a sudden something happens right afterwards. And it's like, I told you so, you know what I mean? But you know, quite honestly, I want to thank you so much for being with us today. I know.
Thank you for having me. I love it. I appreciate it.
Definitely, and just amazing. I would like to start doing the mini reading we were talking about.
Sure.
I'm going to step out of this one because we've already had a session before. Sure. And I would like Josh to be the focus of this mini session.
Sure.
Okay, so let me know when you're ready. And
Okay, I guess fire away.
What am I doing right now?
whatever you want, quite honestly. But
I guess you're doing a reading for me.
We're doing medium or doing psychic?
huh? Well, I thought you were a medium.
Well, both.
Oh,
Which one would you like?
holy crap! That just like opened up a whole spectrum right there. Let's do.
Let's do medium. Let's do
medium.
the medium. Yeah.
All right, well, let me get in the zone because here I am asking questions, answering questions. And
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, you're doing medium for you.
Yes. Yep. Because I'm gonna end up asking a question that I know that my mom really wants an answer to. So.
Okay. Hang on. But don't say anything. Just say yes or no. Say yes or no to
You got it.
whatever is being said. It's up to you to put all the puzzle pieces together of what's being said. All right. And I don't look at you when I read. I look over here, so make sure I can hear yeses and nos.
Okay.
I'm not nodding. Okay. I'm going to take my shoes off. Hang on.
Get comfortable.
Well, I just have to get focused because we were just doing something completely different.
I know, and I apologize about the sudden change.
Say your first name out loud.
Joshua.
My headset keeps telling me that the battery's low, so I may have to fill it up in a second.
Okay.
First thing, I have a couple people to step forward for you, Josh. I have male, female. So just say yes or no. You would understand in the spirit world, male, female.
If I know them.
So do you have a male in the spirit world, a female in the spirit world, and another female in the spirit world?
Oh yeah.
Females are definitely older.
Yes.
Meaning grandmotherly. The other gentleman, the first gentleman that I see, he's not necessarily older like a grandfather. He's younger than grandfatherly age.
Okay.
So just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. And because I have 3 people that step forward for you. So the first gentleman, I feel with this gentleman, he actually passes away unexpectedly. However, he says to tell the family they really shouldn't have been so shocked. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't say anything else. This is, I would say, or use the word a fuller gentleman. Okay? He's a fuller build. And you have a tattoo that says dad. Do you have a tattoo for a dad? Do you have a dad in the spirit world, yes or no?
No.
Okay. Just generally understand everything I said, though, other than the dad, yes?
Yeah. I
What
don't.
about the male?
No dad in the spirit world. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Take away the word dad, and you understand everything else.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Would you also understand either borderline or yes of a diabetic?
Yes.
Okay. And he also talks about a gentleman other than yourself having a middle name that pertains to him. So someone's named after him. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And he wants to say that his birthday, he has a grandson whose birthday is very close to his birthday. Do you understand that?
Grandson who's
It's within a few weeks.
It's within a
Just
few
evidence.
weeks.
It's just evidence.
Not that I know of.
Okay. Well,
No.
put that in your pocket.
Oh, wait a second. Yes.
Okay, good. That's
I had to think about that for a second.
Yeah, that's all right. It's so hard to remember those sometimes. But anyway, so all of these things, other than the word dad, you're saying yes to. So let me hang on. You referenced your mom at the beginning, so I want to ask him what your mom wants. So hang on a minute.
Oh, she's breathing.
There's nothing she could have done about his passing, but he is thankful to her for all she did do for him prior to this ever occurring. And yes, she handled things just fine.
Awesome.
Just fine, because there's this idea he says she has about wonderment about did she do the things after he passed the way he would have liked.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
And he says it was just fine, thanks.
Okay.
Not too much detail in that, but that's how he says it. It was just fine, thanks. He says he does like that she's now put out the black and white photograph of him holding her when she's very little. And she's recently taken that out of an album.
Okay. Possibly I haven't been out there in a little bit.
Okay, well, just tell her that.
Okay.
Don't forget it, because it's important to him. Because he wants to prove to her that she's been around. So is this her dad?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I got the word dad.
Duh.
I thought it was your dad, so sorry.
Oh,
But I
no.
got the word dad. I didn't know it was your mom's dad.
Yeah.
But there's this picture of that he says it's black and white, and it's got the old-fashioned teeth marks around it. Okay? And
Those are really old.
and he says that she's a baby in this photograph, and she was just recently going through these old-fashioned cellophane albums. Recent. He says it was recent, and he was with her in her home as a spirit person watching her do this, and it's the way he wants to tell her, I was there, I do visit you. Okay? And please tell her that since his passing, he's been sending a cardinal to the side of the house, because there's a door on the side of the house. You can go out, and then you have to walk a few steps and then get to the garage. And he says if you go around the right side in the back, there's a tree. And in that tree is the cardinal. Do you understand that?
Yes, yes.
Yes, and the layout, yes?
Yes.
So he says to tell your mom that he comes and stands by that door, because her dog knows that he's there.
Oh.
Because the dog will bark by that door often, because it's not necessarily always the door he goes out, because sometimes he goes out the sliding door off the deck. And he says, but when he stands there, because there's another door there that can go to the basement, correct?
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah. So he says that right by that door, the door that goes to the basement and the door that goes to the outdoors, they're kind of right near each other, and the dog will sit there and growl and bark, and your mom will think that's crazy, stop that. But he says that the dog is seeing him, and that's the position that he's standing in.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But you understand the layout of the house and the sliding door and the deck and the door, 2 doors in the basement, and yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So tell your mom that he loves her very, very much. He's very proud of you. He says you're supposed to get back to school and stop diddly-dallying.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
All right, because he says stop thinking about it and get to it.
Get to it. I'll remind. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's how he's saying. Hands over the heart means I love you very much. And he loves the mom. Handshake to your dad.
Handshake to my dad? Okay.
Handshake to your dad. That's a man thing. It's a guy thing. He's saying, please shake the dad's hand so he can thank him for taking care of his girl.
Yeah, bravo. Yeah,
Okay.
that's nice.
All right. So I'll leave you with that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Yeah. That
You know,
was.
let me see that. The funny thing about that is I knew his grandfather. Okay, and because I feel very close to his family. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you were talking about it, I'm like, that's Gerald. That's Gerald. Like, that's his
I got
grandfather.
a J name, but your name starts with a J, so I thought that I'm not very good at names. So your name starts with a J, so I wasn't sure if he was pointing out your name or his name. I wasn't sure, so I didn't mention.
His name is Gerald with a G, but
G.
at birth, my mom gave me a middle name of Gerald with a J.
You are awesome.
Gerald with a J. Perfect.
You are so awesome. Oh wow, amazing.
Well, Spirit's awesome.
I know.
All you have to do is trust.
You're a good interpreter, right?
Yeah, but you can't do any of that. You can't do any of that delivery if you don't trust what you're telling you and giving you.
That was very impressive.
I should just for clarification, I should ask
Yes,
because
thank you. Could you clarify that for your listeners? Would be great.
yeah. So in 2019, my grandma passed away of dementia in September, and my grandpa was super lonely because their love was just and then he suffered from severe congestive heart failure, and he passed away unexpectedly in the middle of the night on July 4th of last year.
Oh, yeah, 2020, yeah.
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 But he did say that your family shouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah, because his heart was really weak.
Well, it was a broken heart.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I'm sure I just want to ask you one more question, and
Sure.
I mean, that's pretty much it, because I know my mom's going to want to hear this. Is my grandma doing okay?
Yeah, she's kind of a sassy, spicy, funny lady, you know, in a good way. I find her to be, she's a matriarch of the family, there's no doubt in my mind, you know, because she wants Christmas to be at her house and Thanksgiving at her house, and she wants everything at her house, because she likes all of the little chickens under the same roof. You know? So, as far as her being, quote-unquote, okay, she says, tell for evidence that your mom has her rings, okay? And she also talks about your mom having, it's almost like a mother's prayer, and it's in a frame, where your grandma always had it in her kitchen, and your mom has it in her house. I'm not saying it is the mother's prayer, but it's not a picture, it's not a photograph, it's writing.
Writing, yep.
She says to say that your mom has her cookbooks as well, and she wants to thank your mom for copying one of her famous recipes and giving it to all the family. Okay, and she's a very, very nice lady. There's also a granddaughter named after her, she says, and there's a great grandbaby that she knows has come since she's been in spirit, okay, and or is coming, okay, one or the other, and she wants to acknowledge that baby as well. So, what else? She's happy that your mom saved her knickknacks. It's a collection of knickknacks. They're small.
Some of them we found, right?
Your mom saved those. And she says to tell her, oh, she's so grateful for that. Okay? Yeah. All right. So, and lots of love to the family. And there's also, I think this is your mom's mom. I think this is great grandma to you that's stepping through and saying that your mom has been given a rosary of her grandmother, not your grandmother, your mother's grandmother.
Okay.
Has stepped through. And there's a rosary that she's kept that someone gave her in the family. And she doesn't even use it, but it's stuck in a box.
Okay.
And she has it.
I'll have to ask her.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you may or may not know about that. But I know it's not from this grandma that you're talking to.
Right.
That I was just talking to. It's from her mom, because her mom's standing right behind her. And she just stuck her hand out and said, here, tell her about this. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So it was kind of an heirloom.
Grandma's way to say hello.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
That's
So do
awesome.
you understand the ring and the cookbook and the photos?
Yeah, because when my
the
mom,
and the cookbooks and
when my grandma passed away, she got my grandma's wedding ring, which she wears on her finger every day, and she wears my grandpa's wedding ring as a necklace.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So impressive.
Oh
So
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah. Did she know that we were there, like gathered around while she was right before she passed?
Yeah.
She says that your mom stayed, because she responds to you and says your mom stayed and held her hand and didn't let go till she passed. And she knew that your mom was there and held her hand the whole time and didn't let go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Yep. She was laying in bed with her when she passed.
I will tell you that his family is. Yeah, I had a very horrible, a very broken up family when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And when I met his family and I got to know them, it's like I'm very jealous, quite honestly, because I always tell them, this is a good family. You be happy you have this. And I had the honor of meeting her before she passed away, his grandmother. She wasn't very cognitive, but it was just.
Oh, don't you? So, yeah, she goes like this.
Sorry.
What was she doing?
I used the word cognitive that she wasn't aware.
Say to your mom, her daughter, that. Hang on. Thank you for giving me permission to go to the spirit world. It was because she gave permission and she knew there were 6 people in the room when she passed. And she says, don't worry, I knew they were all there. Okay?
That's awesome.
Awesome.
See what I mean? The family's incredible.
Yeah.
Really good people.
And, yeah. And then just before we stop the reading, any final words from her?
Happy birthday.
To
So
who?
somebody has a birthday in the family, immediate family. Okay, it's either 2 weeks ago or 3 to 4 weeks up and coming.
Okay.
Your dad's birthday recently.
Well, yeah.
That was, His dad just had birthday recently.
Yeah. How did you know that?
Because you told me about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so happy birthday from that grandma. Even though it's his mother-in-law.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and again, you said yourself, there is no division as far as who's who. Male, female, so that makes
if
sense.
the love is there, that's what the bond is love.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Let me take this.
I am.
You okay? Your face looks a little like stunned. You okay?
His eyes are glassy.
I just know my mom's been waiting on answers for that for a long time, and I knew I just had to take the opportunity tonight to do that for her.
It
Was
is.
that the question?
What?
Was that the question your mom had that your grandpa answered?
Yeah, I mean, my mom, for the past couple months, she just really wanted to know that they're safe and in good hands, and that they found each other. And, awesome. Exactly, and they didn't pass away in too much pain and stuff like that. Yeah, awesome.
I saw male, female. These two are together, and the other lady's from the other side of the family.
Okay. So. All right. Yeah, that's all she wanted to know because she was super close with them. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
She knew she was there.
Yeah. That's. Wow. What? I don't even know how to describe this. This was so amazing. We got to do this again in the future.
Yeah, sometime. We will.
Sure.
You
ask a psychic question.
Okay.
Okay.
It's my turn. On that one, she can...
Fine, be that way.
She doesn't know that much about me.
She knows a lot about you. Okay, fine, but then I get one too.
All right. So, I don't know. How do you ask someone a psychic question? Well, give me an example of a question.
Well, you could ask a question about love, about money, about career, about health, about...
Okay. You know about my wife having had the heart attack and everything. For me, I guess this might be a medium thing, but she's really worried about her health. And, she's unfortunately dependent upon medicines, and I work on her as much as I can. So I guess my question is do you psychically foresee any more like within the year, anything with my wife's health?
Well, again, my timing is not always right. So when you conglomerate that into a year, I would never say in a year because I've been proven that my timing is not correct.
Okay.
My information's correct, the timing is not.
Okay.
So as far as within a year, I know she had some sort of a heart surgery, yeah?
Not yet. No, she had a procedure, but not. Okay, so she's having something done on the 20th. Okay, a procedure that.
It's a stint.
I guess so. I mean, they're calling it catheter.
Yeah, that stints.
Okay, good. I didn't know.
Going into,
Yep.
I've had that done. So.
Okay.
They're going to do this stint, and I would say in a few more years, there'll be more stints to be put in.
Okay.
Yeah, there's going to be a second more stints to be put in. There's also a lung issue and an airway issue with her as well. So
yes.
She needs to. The bottom line is she has to get moving.
Okay.
She has to get moving, but I feel she's got some ankle problems. Yeah.
Yeah, she's been having a lot of. My wife's actually on there right now watching all this, so she's having some issues in that area and swelling as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. I can feel it. It's so stretchy and it hurts.
Yep.
It's painful. It's squishy.
Yep. Yes.
And that's because the heart's not functioning properly, is what I feel.
Yep.
She's going to be able to breathe a lot better when she gets these stents put in.
Okay.
They're probably going to tell her maybe one. I think she's going to have 3.
Okay.
And it's no big deal. It's all in the same procedure.
Yep.
Had it done.
Yep.
So
yep.
They do it all in the same procedure. So,
yep.
But she's going to get a lecture, and you and I both know what that means, what that's going to be about.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. So she needs to start taking her health really, really seriously because the medication and these situations aren't all going to fix themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right on.
Yeah.
100%. That's amazing. One more question, a psychic one, if you want, or a medium one. You've gotten to know me a little. Where do you see me as far as my healing? Because I love helping people. Where do you see me in the near future?
I actually think that's up to you. I think you there's so much more you want to do, but you also have that fear about, jumping forward in a few different directions you've thought of. So, and this isn't a discussion we've ever had, just to let your listeners know.
Oh, no. We've never talked about this.
But it's really going to be up to you. You have to, I feel like you're really, really focused on your wife right now.
Mm-hmm.
So once she starts becoming healthier and healthier and healthier, you're going to feel more comfortable to be able to go out and do your own thing more often.
Okay.
You know, that's how that feels to me.
Okay.
It depends on what directions you want to go. Healing is definitely the kind. I think you're one hell of a medium, I have a feeling. So, you know, if you ever wanted to train or whatever, you know, I'd be more than happy to have you.
Hey.
I really think you should look at the Arthur Findlay College, though, and look at, they have a lot of healing classes.
Okay.
There's lots of different types of healings you can do because you're a natural.
Yeah.
So you may want to look at the Arthur Findlay College when things open up after the COVID. COVID will kind of be non-existent come September, I believe.
Okay.
This September. If not this September, it'll be the next September. So the capabilities for you to go wherever it is you want to go, you have to get your life healthy first, and then you'll be able to go and do those things. Because you feel better about being gone, you know, on trips and traveling and things like that.
Yep. I mean,
because I feel like whatever you want to do next has to do with travel and kind of global. There can be global, but I think you're going to stick close to her, and she needs you, and she depends on you, and you her. You know, it's a good relationship. So, I do think you're going to branch out, but you need to get her healthy first.
100%. Wow, that's amazing. One more thing. Is that okay? We do one more thing?
Sure.
Okay. One medium.
Ask one of your listeners ask a question.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Do they have a question? Are there any questions?
You can ask your thing, and I can also do the other thing.
Okay. Let's just do one medium thing. Oh no.
Hang on 1 second.
Yep.
Anybody out there have a psychic question that you want LoriAnn to answer?
Do we need this? Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
we are.
Okay. Yeah, so if anyone's got a question for LoriAnn?
Make sure you don't ask anything that you don't want everybody else to know, because everybody's going to know, so.
Yep. Yeah, this is an open forum.
Sorry, everybody.
Don't worry about it. You have to wait on us a few times.
Okay, so go ahead.
Awesome. Okay. So, just one medium thing. Do you see? Is there anyone there that wants to say something to me, or?
I'm going to take my hat off. One of the tricks to not having your energy be so high and pick up everything is to wear a hat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Would you ask?
My name is David, and yep.
You want to know if there's anybody in the spirit world for you?
Yeah. Kind of like rolling the dice.
There's a lady, and she's kind of in a way, she says that she's your mom, but she's not really your mom by DNA, but she was like a mom to you. You just say yes or no. Do you understand that?
Yes.
She's just kind of showing me a memory
Okay.
she has of you and her. I feel she passes away of many different things. It's complicated and unknown in a way, yet, what does that mean? It's multi-layered. Her passing's multi-layered. It's not an easy situation.
Okay.
But she says, I said, so you're the mom? And she says, not really. But mother-like to you is what I can hear.
Okay.
Were you ever in foster care or something like that?
No, but as I said, the family was very unstable at the time, so there was a lot of other mothers around.
Yeah, because she
about
tells me that she's not DNA to you.
Yep.
Your adult life, there was distance in miles between the two of you because you went off to do your own thing, but she moved. Do you understand that? She moved. I know there's, I said distance in the heart. And she's like, no, miles. I'm like, okay.
I actually moved.
Yeah, well, somebody moved.
Yeah,
So
correct.
I'm telling you miles.
Yep.
Not,
We were
not
apart.
in the heart,
Yes.
miles, right. Yeah. There's also a gentleman there as well, just kind of standing behind her. I think they know each other, but they're not DNA. Do you have a dad in the spirit world?
Nope.
It's a man.
Dad
And the
figure.
man.
I had a stepfather who just passed away last year.
Was it last year?
But this man, I don't know if this is the stepdad, because this man has lots and lots and lots of apologies for you.
Apologies?
Apologies.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's a stepdad, because the stepdad seems to be kind of sort of okay, if you will,
Okay.
and as a human.
Yes, very much.
So, as a human, he's fine. But this other gentleman, he's got all these apologies. It's like he just rolled out a list of apologies.
Wow.
Here we have it. Sorry. Again, this feels not DNA. This feels friendship. At one time, but this friendship comes from high school. Okay? And then this friendship is broken, and he is apologizing for the break. Sorry. That's how he says it.
Really?
I don't know how that all goes together. And, you got to put it all together. Okay?
Yeah. I'm trying, and it's like there's a lot of information up there.
Yeah.
High school. So that was in America.
Well, I kind of think this is what happened, David. Is I got a feeling I had the older gentleman, and I think this other guy, the way I saw it, is kind of just shoved his way through everybody.
Okay.
Who was from high school, and you were good friends in high school, and then, you split, you go your own ways, whatever. And he's just saying, it's the younger guy who's your age, and he's just kind of saying, I'm sorry. So did you ever have a guy friend in high school that stole a girlfriend? That passed away.
See, I had a very good friend. I actually, quote unquote, stole his girlfriend.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
That's the information I'm getting. However
okay.
it goes, usually
I mean-
into you, however.
But I didn't know he died.
Well, maybe he didn't die. Maybe it's not him. I don't know.
No.
See,
I mean,
I'm not perfect.
no, hang on. This guy and I were good friends in high school. He went to the Navy, and I liked his girlfriend, and all this other stuff you do when you're young. And we completely never talked after that.
Yeah.
So it's a chance that he has passed away because it's been 30
You may wanna
years.
Look it up.
Yeah, but I know who you're
This guy's
talking
coming
about.
in saying hello, and he's your age. And he tells me, I heard the words high school and then about the stealing the girlfriend.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought his was yours, whatever.
I was the guy. I was the bad
Somebody
guy.
stole someone's girlfriend. Okay?
Yeah.
And you can actually validate so.
Yes.
So
Yes.
It's probable that it's him. So it's
Well,
probable.
may you rest
I
in
never
peace.
say, I never say for sure. 'cause-
No, everything you said made complete sense, and yeah. Okay, that was awesome. Wow.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask 2 psychic questions, and then I have some people from the chat here that are actually asking questions, psychic wise.
Okay.
So Steph and I have been looking at purchasing a house for a couple months now. We've had a couple that we liked, but we did not put an offer down on. I am looking at one tomorrow at 3:00. Pretty sure I'm going to put an offer down on it. Is it this house or is it another house?
What's the address of this house?
The address of this house, it's on Royal
Just give me-
Boulevard. I don't know the...
3 bedrooms, 2 baths?
It's 1 bath.
Yeah, we need a second one.
We need a second one? You know what's funny? Because Steph wants a second one.
That's funny.
Well, you need a second one. She needs a second one.
Okay.
I would personally, as a psychic, I would tell you to wait till the end of September to buy because you're going to pay
$30,000 less for that house you want to buy today.
Oh.
Wait till September.
That's the thing is we can't because our lease is up at the end of July. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Royal Boulevard. Give me another name.
Like city wise or.
I just think you need 2 bathrooms. I see the house you have with 2 bathrooms. I think your wife deserves that, but I just think that it's gonna. I mean, I just see you having a house with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
3 bedrooms.
It almost looks like an old-fashioned craftsman's to me. You know, like the old-fashioned craftsman is what it looks like to me. The house that you're going to buy.
Huh.
It's almost got the bigger porch on the front. It's covered with the pillars, unless you live there now.
A porch with pillars and stuff like that? Well, we have 2 bathrooms right now at the apartment we live in.
No, this is not an apartment I'm seeing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we live in an apartment right now. Okay. Interesting.
It looks like you have it almost looks like the version of a crow's nest up top, you know?
I have no idea what that means, but okay.
It kind of looks like that. It's an older, I bet it's got hardwood floors. When I walk in the front door, it's hardwood floors. Got 2 big bay windows on each side. They've got 5 steps going to the porch. It's like yeah, that's what I see you buying.
Huh. Interesting.
So now you have an idea.
Yeah, because one of the things that we really want is a backyard, a fenced-in backyard.
This house has it.
We want
It's got all that.
Even though it's not a deal breaker, we want a finished basement. And
Yeah. I think it's an older home. I think you guys may be looking at the newer home so that you get all of that. But I think it could be a different house that you're going to live in and buy at a different time. But I'll be honest with you. When you say Royal, what do you say? Royal.
It's on Royal Boulevard. That's all I remember.
It just doesn't feel right to me.
Okay.
But you do what you want. You live in a human world. You do whatever you want.
Well, of course.
You know?
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe if I put an offer down tomorrow and we don't get it, that's
a sign.
That's a sign.
We'll see. Good luck. I hope you get what you want.
Yeah.
You know? But I see you in an older craftsman, 100-year-old house that's really cool.
Yeah.
The yard's already fenced in. The kitchen's in the back. There's a bathroom downstairs, a bathroom upstairs. There's this huge porch.
Okay. And then the second question. So at my current work.
I could draw it for you.
You could
show
draw.
you what it looks like.
I mean, you could and send it to my email. And then the second question. My place of work. That I love my job. And I just want to know, how long am I going to be there?
Give me the name of where you work.
Office Depot.
Your job title?
I work in print services as a print services advisor. Basically, I produce all this stuff for everybody.
Yeah, there's promotions coming for you. You have quite a bit of growth there, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
But the growth isn't necessarily always going to be in your department. You're going to outgrow that department into different parts of the company, and you may end up working for the company, not the Home Depot necessarily in your store. You may be working in there, but you're working on a more of a national level, if you will.
Corporate level, yeah.
Damn.
Okay.
Okay.
But that's coming. And again, you can pass that up if you want to pass it up, but it's coming.
Yeah. And then
it doesn't feel super soon, but I know it's coming. There'll be 2 promotions within your department before that big promotion comes.
Yeah.
You're already being taken advantage of for all the work that you do. And they know it. The people above you know it. But as long as you don't say anything, they're going to take it for free because they can. Because you're a nice guy and they finished last. So.
Amen. Amen. Yes.
You know, so you'll be there as long. Your question was, how long will I be there? I think you love your job. You'll be there as long as you want to be there. But the big promotion that comes down the road is worth it because the salary is a huge jump.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah,
Really
it's
good.
a huge chunk. It's something that's, I also want to say to you, it feels very unprecedented that such a raise would be offered to someone, anybody really. And so when you hear it, you're going to be like, what? You're not even going to believe it's true, the offer. So, but I will say to you, on salary, this is going to come with a lot of work, a lot of working at home, from home, this, that, etc. But if anybody can do it, you can.
Okay. And then one more question, then I'm going to hand it over to the chat here.
Yeah.
When are Steph and I going to have kids?
I knew you were going to ask that question. I thought that was going to be your first question. Mm-hmm. How old are you right now?
28. Going to be 29 in like 2 months.
And your wife?
She is 24, going to be 25 this year.
Cradle Robert.
When she's 28 and you'll be in your 30s.
When she's 28. Okay, so that's like 4 years. All right, I'll take it.
I think she wants him now because she's just that bubbly little person that could have a baby on each hip and
I want him
well,
now too.
and do well at it, and both do really well at it, But I do feel like the plan that you all are putting in place about the house first, then to this, then to this, then to this, because you've got this discussion and this plan,
Right.
And it's a bit of a financial plan as well for these children, so that you're going to have this discussion or already have. It's coming. There'll be many children, depending on how many you want.
And biological or
five?
biological or adoption?
Oh, okay. I was going to say biological.
I think 3 and 2.
What?
5. You're going to have 5 kids.
5 kids? How am I going to afford 5 kids?
You got a big promotion.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
there you go, bravo.
And then just biological or
3 and 2.
adoption?
She said 3 and 2.
3 and 2.
Oh, what does that
I think
mean
you're
though?
gonna,
3
be
natural.
careful what you ask for. You might get a set of twins.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Remember?
So-
I mentioned that before. I did.
Okay.
I was scanning. Give me that. I was scanning her one day, and all of a sudden I saw 2 for 1. And I'm like, dude, I think she's going to have twins when you do have twins. That is crazy.
Identical girls.
Yeah, we thought she was pregnant back in January, but we think that might have just been a miscarriage.
It was a miscarriage.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a miscarriage.
Yeah. All right.
That's something that Steph really wants to talk about. But
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Okay.
on live.
So we're going to get into questions from the audience now. So Ed Smith asks,
Hey. Hi, Ed. Hi,
I'm
Ed.
hoping of having success this summer, ?
What kind of success?
What kind of success, Ed?
Well, I know that he's into, him and his dad do Native American jewelry. Can you hear me, hon?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
I
good.
can hear you really well, actually.
Thank you. So I'm thinking he's looking at it that way, from a business point of view.
It's such a generic question.
No.
Ed, we need to know what kind of success you want in order for the question to... A business success.
Boom. Did I not say that?
I want to tell him to be careful opening the storefront.
Ooh.
Because him and somebody are trying to think about it. They haven't signed anything yet, but they're thinking about doing a storefront.
Mhm.
A store.
Expanding.
Be careful with that, because I really feel you're going to do much better doing the 10 by 10 pop-up shows that people do, because his jewelry is phenomenal. There's a whole lot of red turquoise, orange turquoise, blue turquoise, all not stainless steel. It's all silver. It's real deal.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very spiritual component to this gentleman in
Oh, yeah.
what he puts into this jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
And he understands spirit walking. He understands spirit. He's a very, very spiritual gentleman. There's something about having his feet on the ground, make him think straight and think clear. Bare feet.
Yes. Yes.
It's not shoes, bare feet for him. This gentleman knows exactly what he's doing. He just needs to trust himself more.
Okay.
So you're going to do a lot better at the shows, the pop-up shows. You're going to do a lot better there than you're going to do in the storefront. Your overhead's going to be, they're going to promise you one thing and it's going to be a different thing.
Correct.
In a storefront.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful with the storefront. As far as successes in the up and coming year, it's there for you, but my suggestion is for you to stick with the 10 by 10 pop-ups and the people that you know and selling. I think he could sell his jewelry in casino shops and things like that.
You know, that's freaking crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are absolutely correct.
Yeah, he could sell his jewelry in the casinos because people expect to find it there.
Mm-hmm.
And he would do, and they have their money because of the winnings or the stat or whatever. It's just expected. Be careful with the storefront. I want to say to him.
Okay.
The success is there because he's amazing. He puts love and spirit into everything he creates.
He does.
Great karma.
I've literally watched him make jewelry. So he's an amazing guy. He's very spiritual, like you said.
Yeah.
And in fact,
he's an eagle. He probably knows this. He has a giant, beautiful, old, bald eagle as his spirit guide. He probably already knows that.
He probably does. But you know, it's funny. I've been talking to him about coming in as a guest like you because of he's had his own personal experiences regarding the paranormal. And I've been talking to him for years. He's a great guy. So I would, just knowing what I know about him, I would say you're right on. Right on everything.
Yeah. Hope that helps him. Ed.
All right, Ed.
All right. And then we have another question here from Odessa Clay.
Okay, that
she says, first question is, in which direction will my love/relationship life go?
Tell her that they make the rear view mirror in a car very small for a reason. So you're never looking back, and the windshield is very large in front of you to show you what the possibilities are in the front of you.
Nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Let go of the past, my dear. You're hanging in there. Let go of the past because you can't find the future if you're hanging on to the past.
Okay. Sure.
That's a really good answer.
Oh yeah.
That's a really good answer.
And then her second.
I've done this for a while.
Yeah, you have. Yes, you have.
And then she says, her second question is, and as far as my career, am I doing what I am meant to be doing?
What is she doing? She's a healer. She's into spiritualism somehow.
What are you doing, Odessa? We need to know what you're doing in your career.
She'll let us know in a few seconds.
Oh yeah, she will.
By the way, Odessa, great questions.
Oh yeah.
And you too, Ed.
Yeah, keep asking away. LoriAnn wants those psychic questions. Come on, bring them.
LoriAnn, how are you doing? Are you tired at all? You're good? Wow, you got amazing energy. That's awesome. And I appreciate this.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate it.
Maybe we could tell people how to find me.
Oh,
there you go.
By the way, yes. I typed it into the chat like an hour ago, and a lot of people said thanks, but Lori can be found at psychiclori.net.
Correct.
I've been to that.
Lori is L-O-R-I.
Yes.
LoriAnn. And you go with LoriAnn, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been to your website many times now, so I know exactly where it is.
Yeah. Mine says mine is Midwest Medium.
Yep.
Midwest Medium Psychic LoriAnn is basically what it is. www.psychiclori.net. L-O-R-I.
Odessa says she is a correctional nurse and officer.
And what was her question?
Her question was
Direction of her.
what, as far as my career, am I doing what I am meant to be doing?
I feel she's going to divert from that eventually and start working in schools.
Like education schools, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously
almost
schools.
like a liaison.
Oh, as an officer. Nice.
Liaison.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's very promising, and thank you for doing your service already with the hospital the prisons and everything. That's a tough job. That's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very kind. She's got a quietness about her, if you will, a quiet confidence, quite stoic, I would say, in a way that I feel most people she'd be what we would call a hard read because you don't really read a lot on her.
Yep.
But that's what is serving her highest and greatest good in the career she's in.
I didn't see
is
it.
the stoicness that keeps others calm.
So she just said she's been asked to instruct Jail Academy.
Whoa!
Oh!
Jail Academy.
Whoa!
Wow. That is crazy.
Nice.
She's certifiable, I'm telling you. You're awesome.
That's
Wow.
funny. Right.
Training.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow. And yeah, keep asking. You know what? I'm gonna ask one because I know that this isn't to do with me though. This is to do with another person that I can tell because she's here, but not now.
Gotcha.
Like After my sister.
She's still here.
Yeah, well, she's in the other room.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law has been struggling with school and stuff like that, and struggling whether or not she's like she's in the right career path and how far she should go with her career. And basically the question would be, is she on the right career path and how far is she meant to go?
What's her first name?
Jennifer.
And what's the career?
Her career is she a teacher. She to be a teacher, and she started out in daycare and stuff like that, but she's in school to be a teacher.
Yeah, she's wanting to do elementary, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, she's in. Yes, I guess yes is everywhere. Yes, she's going into the right career. Yes, she should continue to pursue it. Yes, she should stay with elementary because Jennifer has the structure to command and stay in control at all times, but the understanding, compassion to really kind of weave, if you will, rather than just shoot as a straight and as an arrow. She's really kind of got away with kids, and she has this compassion and understanding. And she can handle parents too. I used to run a daycare, and handling the parents is a lot harder than handling the kids.
Yeah.
So, she's in the right. Yes, she needs to continue to pursue that. Absolutely, positively, 100%. She could end up to be a super, really, at one day.
Oh, wow.
Superintendent one day. Not right away by any means. She'll earn her stripes, but I do feel she's going to continue to go on and go into principal and then a super. I really do. I think she's going to end up in that eventually. She has to earn her stripes first, though.
Okay. And then I guess I'll ask one for my wife, and then I'm going to continue on with the chat here. So my wife, she's always had a passion for forensic science and criminal justice. She went to school for 2 years to be a forensic scientist. She got her degree, and then after that, she couldn't find any jobs or whatever in the area. The one she found too low a pay, and she doesn't know if she can handle that based on her personal past, I guess, that kind of the forensic part of it. But she also has had a passion for animals her whole life. She doesn't have a degree in it, but now she's pursuing. Now she's been after her degree in forensics. Then she went to school for like a semester or two to pursue a degree in veterinary science. Then she decided to stop that schooling and just pursue a career in a daycare or in a kennel. And then she
I
left.
thought she already owned the doggy daycare, to be honest.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, no, and then she left the daycare to work at a microbiology lab. So, which one are we sticking with here?
I think she likes the dogs better.
Yeah.
she is good with them. She's kind of like an animal whisperer. So I feel like if you do this giant backyard, you're going to put one whole side of it in kennels, and she's going to do the home doggy daycare for a bit until she saves all of that money and opens her own facility.
Okay.
So
Wow.
that's coming.
Nice.
I thought she already owned her own.
Oh no,
doggy daycare.
what she did was,
will.
yeah, she left the job as a kennel worker and went to work at the
Well, they don't
micro.
pay anything at doggy daycare. It's way under
Yeah.
their own.
Yeah.
And then since they love her so much over there at the kennel, they asked her to come back part time. So now she works 5 days a week at
Yeah,
the
well, tell her
her.
if they want her to come back part time, they got to pay her double.
Okay.
Why doesn't anybody do that?
So yeah.
When I came down here to Sedona, the lady's like, "Oh yeah, and we're gonna pay you this, like $80 or something like that."
Yeah.
To work for them. Well, emailed her back. This is what I'll work for.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, you don't pay anybody that." I said, "Well, then I'm not working for you."
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
She works a lot
Guess
now
what?
because
They're making what I wanted.
yeah.
You know?
Oh, they did? You ended up staying with them?
What's that?
You end up working for them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Gave me what I wanted.
Damn.
Yeah. So, what I'm saying about your wife is, she needs to, she's also being taken advantage of because she's a nice person. So,
And-
I think she's gonna, I think the forensic and the biology and all that makes sense to her. She's also, by the way, going to create her own dog food. Okay? There's some biochemical, whatever she's going to figure out about dogs. Something for dogs that has to do with their skin. And she's going to figure it out as a scientist. And she's going to prototype this. And she's going to get it. She's going to sell it. She's going to start selling her dog daycare. Then she's going to get an investor. And boom. It's going to be a big bleeping deal. Yeah.
Well, she's definitely going to have to see this episode because
Well, the funny thing
that's
is
great
that
encouragement.
the funny thing is that like she bakes a lot of our dog's own treats
Of course she does.
because
That
she
is crazy.
she prefers
That looks stupid, man.
Yeah.
Her own thing.
'Cause
She's going to get an investor. She's
Yeah.
going to be like the Shark Tank girl.
'Cause
And it's going to make sense. And it's boom. It's
Yeah,
everywhere.
'cause
But she's also going to own the kennel. She's
Yeah.
going to open her own brick and mortar kennel. She'll start in her backyard. 'Cause the backyard you're going to buy is not the one you're going to buy tomorrow. And it's going to be and it's going to be huge. It's going to be a huge backyard. And the whole right side, when you stand on the deck, is all kennels from the front to all the way back. And the rest of it's for the kids and toys and whatever. But you got it all sectioned off. It's massive. But that's the start to saving all the money to open the brick and mortar. And in the meantime,
What did you say? Brick? Is that the name of the
brick and
kennel?
mortar. Oh, maybe.
Or you mean
No,
the
brick-
building?
brick and mortar, like a brick and mortar store.
Yeah.
They're going to build it, or it's
Yeah.
a building.
Okay.
It's not in your home.
Correct. Correct.
It'll
Yeah.
start in your yard, but it's not going to end in your yard. So she's capable of way more than she thinks she is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
yeah, definitely.
She's a compassionate brainiac.
Oh yeah,
Wow. Right on the money. Right on the money.
yes, she is. Oh, she's gonna love hearing this stuff.
So let me ask you
Well, you
this.
should support her no matter what.
Oh.
Because I feel great.
Oh, of course.
Great.
Oh, she knows, ever since the time that we got together, she's always known that, to me, her career comes before mine, and I would drop anything to move anywhere for her, or to make anything happen
Yeah.
for her, so,
Where
yeah.
do you live now? What city?
Green Bay.
We're both in Green Bay. He and I.
I think it's in the outskirts of Green Bay. I feel
Okay.
like it's in Green Bay.
Like Alloway or someplace or.
You're commuting about 20 to 30 minutes. It's not Appleton. It almost feels like when you look at Green Bay, it's out towards like Freedom area.
Yeah.
It's out more. It's an old craftsman. I'm telling you, you get this house for a steal. It's got a lot of land, and you can turn that whole thing into a doggy kennel that everyone's going to want to come and bring their dogs there.
Really? And that's where you're seeing that house? Huh.
Very nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not down the street.
Oh.
Cutter. It's not.
Okay.
So, LoriAnn, with your ability, do you ever read people? Like, the individual, not like the spirit part. You actually have the opportunity to look at someone and say, okay, this is who you are, this is what I see, da-da-da-da-da.
What do you mean? You mean like when I first meet them?
Yeah, like does your ability help you?
Like just randomly?
I think what he means is, can you just tell the kind of person they are just by looking at them?
Or a certain...
Yeah, like just like anybody else. Yeah, my husband will go to dinner or this or that, he'll go, can you stop working, please? You know?
Yeah, I got you.
He'll be sitting across from me, like, stop working. You know? Or you're just looking around the room, you're like, ding, 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 ding. Well, as an example of that, where were we? We were vacation with my daughter and the kids and stuff in Myrtle Beach, and somebody was really having a hard time at the front desk checking in, this, that, whatever. And the girl was just frazzled, this, that, whatever, da-da-da. And I remember I looked up at her, and I put my hand on her hand, and I said, it's okay, the boyfriend thing's going to work out. You just need to let him go, because you're better than that. And she just looked at me, and she was like, and I never do things like that, but this girl was so frazzled, and I could hear what was going on in her head, you know? And so I said it to her, and she just kind of pulls her hand back, and she's like, how do you know that? And I go, just finish what you're doing, I'll explain later. And she's like, are you serious? It's going to be done? I go, you need it to be done, honey. And she's just like, she starts crying and checked in my room. I had to go back down and sit with her for a while. It was my fault. I should never have done that without permission. So the answer is yes.
Well, you know, it's funny. I do the same thing. And often
I try not to.
I know. Well, I used to have a job where I had to do it, okay? But, and you, if you're gifted in that sense where you're almost telepathic, okay? Sometimes you don't have the barrier, because I never did. I'd go straight up to someone, tell them what I saw about them, and all of a sudden I'm in a fight, you know? I learned the hard way many, many times. But I know exactly, like, especially when you see someone that's really struggling, like you mentioned, you want to kind of give them a boost. Yeah. You know, and
she just needed to let it go.
Yeah, burst the bubble, you know, type thing. Yeah. Let it go. Excuse me. So, okay.
You need water?
No, I'm good. Okay. I'm not a fan of water, quite honestly. I love coffee. How about you? What do you do to?
I don't have that.
Hang on. What do you do to energize?
Water. 6:30 wine.
6:30. I'll give you a call. We can FaceTime with wine in our hands.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, that's funny.
I run my classes on Monday nights, and we all drink wine together in my classes. So. Zoom classes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really awesome. Well, I'll have to get involved in one of those classes. I know my daughter does an art class over at the old Railroad Museum. And we do, my wife and I will go there and we'll support my daughter. And by the time I get out, I'm like, oh boy, you know, because I'll drink it all.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My husband, he's always the DD. So, yeah.
My wife's always my DD.
But tonight I gotta go up to Phoenix and get him. It's like,
oh, he's in Phoenix. By the way, Sedona's so beautiful.
Yeah, I love it here. I have a beautiful life.
It is, and they always talk. Let's talk about that. In where you live right now, I've read some things about Sedona as far as being considered a vortex. It has a vortex in it, and that's why it's attracting all these spiritual events and people. So you agree?
I found some by accident, some vortexes by accident. I don't know so much about the commercial ones. They say how they are, where they are. I went to 2 of those and I don't really feel anything.
Yeah.
I was on a hike one day and I was just like, whoa, what the hell is that? What's happening right now?
Did you tingle? Did you feel energy and tingling all over you?
Yeah, I feel really dizzy and everything's just kind of spinny. And
Yep.
like, whoa, you feel ungrounded and you feel floaty. And
lightheaded.
my heart starts to race. And my dog goes crazy when there's a vortex. It's just like he can be just trotting along and then he gets in this vortex and he just goes crazy.
He's zooming.
That's a good indicator for me.
Yeah.
I found
2 in the year that I've been here that aren't done any maps or anything. They're just there. So.
Well, you know,
All of Sedona is a vortex.
They say that, but I know vortexes move because the magnetic energy moves. The Earth's the pole, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they move.
Could be. I don't know much about them. I've read some books on them. I don't know what to. It goes back to the going to law school thing where you just really want to evidence.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very much an evidence-based person.
Yep.
So even though I'm a psychic medium, but if you look at my work, which we've done some of it tonight, it's evidence, facts.
Yep.
So, and that's drilled in you from the Arthur Findlay College. So,
if
you don't have the details and the facts, you ain't got nothing.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because that is our motto. Is in most of the paranormal field, I guess you could say. I hate to say it, but everyone thinks they're in a demonic episode. You know what I mean?
Oh God, yes.
And so
yes.
Josh and I, when we met, he told me his mission statement pretty much, and it is truly: if we don't have the evidence, it's not fact. The only difference. This guy right here.
Oh, that's true.
That's his motto. Okay,
That's
and
my motto.
I totally went along with that because that's exactly how I feel. Because
Me too.
one thing I learned about fake evidence or even lying, because that's really what it is lying, okay, is that at some point you can't explain it anymore.
Right.
You know?
Well, I mean, even in the mediumship or psychic, either way, I don't know that I can. People ask me all the time, well, how do you do that? No. I don't know.
A lot of times that's exactly.
That goes, this is how I do it. This is how it works. Well, good luck with that because we don't know, and I won't know till I'm dead. And even then, maybe they don't tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of how I'm at. That's where I'm at with it. I don't know how I do what I do. I don't have an explanation for it. I'm totally into Tesla and physics. Physics and
That's
math.
just like me, dude. 100%.
Do anything to figure it out. I love to figure it out.
Yep.
Have some answers to it. I don't think I'll ever know that in my lifetime, but I'm hoping when I get to the other side that they fill me in. So.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel so like a kinship with you because we have so much. When it comes to that world, we have so much in common, and it's very how do you say? It's very reassuring that I'm not the only one that does this particular thing.
Yeah.
It's very it makes me very happy. Okay, because like
the biggest thing I can say to you is trust.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Trust what you get instantaneously generally will turn into something. You'll get more information on top of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
You just have to trust it.
Yeah, I have a question from the chat for Carol.
Right.
Let's see. When is she going to get a new job, and will it be a good fit for her?
Good.
Carol?
Yeah, my wife.
Carol.
Oh, your Carol.
My Carol.
Oh, okay. What does your Carol do for a living?
She's unemployed.
And she wants to know when she's going to get a new job?
Yep, she's been applying everywhere and no one is coming back to her. I think she's overqualified personally.
Well, what does she do? What's her normal thing she should do?
Hospitality industry. She was in the she was GM, a general manager of 1919 in Lambeau Field, and then she opened up the Titletown district, and then she pretty much was terminated for no good reason, but it happened. And then she worked at the Radisson Hotel where I work at the Radisson Hotel, and because of COVID, her position was terminated. And
I think she's not going to be this September, but the following September, because she needs to concentrate on her health.
Okay.
Okay. And with her, I usually say, "Oh, life's not all or nothing." I mean, I always think that life's too short to have just one passion, kind of thing. But in this particular situation, I really feel like her health needs to come first. And
Okay.
I get she's a brainiac, I get it, but she needs to, I would tell her to concentrate on her health and start writing the book she's always wanted to write. Okay?
Fudge! Are you? Oh my God!
She's always wanted, well, just hang on.
Oh my
I
God!
just see her sitting still long enough to really get this book out. Because writing a book is really difficult. It's not so hard for her.
It's not.
It's not so hard for her, but
It's
it's
not.
the rewrite that's going to be difficult because her feelings will be hurt. But I tell her to let that go, get rid of your ego, and do the rewrite. It's going to take her a year to do all this.
Yeah.
And in the meanwhile, she can work on her health. Okay? And having that success of her book, that will be a slow go, but once it pops, it pops. So, and then there'll be another book and another book. Because once she gets her confidence under her belt about the book and being able to read, there'll be a total of 3 books for her.
You totally blew my mind.
Well, she needs to just concentrate on that. She's got this whole idea that, she's super smart and undervalued and all these things, which is all true. However, she just needs to get her health under control, and in doing so, write the book.
LoriAnn, you just blew my mind. Just yesterday or the day before, we talked about she needs to write a book about the hospitality and tourism industry from the...
I saw the title.
Serious? Wow, bravo. Okay, you totally blew my mind. Thank you so much. As far as the finances, do you see... Because right now, she was the breadwinner of the family, because I'm a disabled veteran, and so we're struggling from that end, So do you see, what should I do to support this whole venue or this adventure for my wife so she doesn't have the stress of the finances? Where should I go about? You're
getting disability, right?
Yeah, and that's not enough to cover anything.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm 100%.
Yeah.
And it's enough to take care of a lot of things, but not enough to keep what we want.
I just want to say that money's not going to buy her a new life.
I agree.
So, just make it work, because
just do it.
She needs to take care of her health.
Yeah, you're right.
First and foremost, you can't buy a new life. I get the money's tight. I get it, but you just got to make it work. I don't see extra income coming in, so sorry, I don't. I mean,
okay.
Ooh, am I going to make it? But I don't see it coming in. But I'm looking at the potentials here, and I'm like, you know what? When I'm looking at all of it, I'm like, I just see her recovering and actually getting to a gym and this and that and da-da-da, because she's going to feel a hell of a lot better when she gets some stints in.
Yep.
The swelling in the feet's going to go away, the circulation is going to get better, the kidneys are going to get better, all these things are going to get better because she's going to start getting healthy. And when that starts happening, more things are going to happen for her in her life.
Okay.
But until then, the struggle is real. And it is what it is. Sorry.
I'm not. It is what it is. You're right. We've had worse. Let's just say that we've been in worse situations.
So it is what it is.
So, on the subject of a book, I'm writing my autobiography. Okay, and it's I don't know. I shouldn't probably say the title, but what do you?
Shouldn't.
Yeah. What do you see from my end as far as writing? I'm in my 4th year of life. Okay, where I'm at right now, and do you sense that if I publish it, what do you see?
I think you're going to self-publish.
Okay.
I think you're going to do the Kindle version first to see how it goes.
Okay.
And I think Carol's book's going to be a lot popular. Sorry.
A lot what?
A lot more popular.
A lot more popular.
Oh, that's fine.
Sorry.
I'm not offended. I'm not offended.
I think it's an autobiography. I think it's a good read. If you do something with ghost in the title, you're going to sell more.
In the title. Okay.
Yeah. You need to wrap some of that stuff in there.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a part of it. It's going to be...
Yeah. So
Okay.
put the word ghost of some sort or ghost hunting or something in the title so that it's a pop. that's why people are going to pick it up.
And then they'll see about me. So that's cool.
Yeah.
What about me as an author?
What about you as an author?
With
I
my
think you write very controversial things, and you're afraid to put it out there.
Controversial.
What?
Yeah, controversial. You talk about things people don't want to talk about, but everyone should be talking about.
Okay, give that to me. He can't even talk. Good job.
She's right.
I know. Yeah, he's written several books, but he's getting into a different genre now, or as far as boom.
No, what what he's talking about is politics. Or what you're talking about is politics, I think. Because I always tell him all the time that it's as a... Okay, sorry.
I just heard that it's controversial. It's subjects that no one wants to touch and talk about, but you have the balls to write about it.
Oh.
And it's really, really smart. It's really well written. Because some people think they want to write stuff and they're not good writers. You're a very, very intellectual, very good writer. And you really have a way of telling a story that draws people in. And you're talking about stuff no one else wants to talk about. And you're putting it out there. So, what's your success on that? I would say keep writing. Right now I feel like that's going to be splashed on social media. But it's going to become a calling. It's going to become a thing. Okay? It's going to become a thing where people are going to come to you. You're going to get magazines and things that want you to write for them.
Okay.
So make sure that everything you do, you have like your website or whatever. Not a website, but your email. Okay? And everything you do on the bottom, and make your fake name up into one name, not two.
Okay.
You're not Brian James, you're whatever name.
Yeah.
And, because they're going to call you and get your emails when they know it's about something like that. Okay?
Okay.
So I just feel, it's not right now, but there's magazines that are going to want you to write for them.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
If you're the guy that's going to have the book that says, the name of the title is What the Fuck.
You sure it's him, not me? You sure you're reading him?
It's a big seller because he writes about all the shit no one wants to talk about, or should be talking about. So that's the name of the book. That's what I thought. Black cover, red letters, with white around the red letters that says What the Fuck. And then a question mark in the bottom, and it's by you.
By what the fuck?
It's a great title. It's a great book title. You don't hurry up and do it for someone else does.
Especially after hearing this one. All right. Okay. I know we gotta close down, and
I gotta go to the airport.
yeah. We don't want you to get be late or anything.
It's a 2-hour drive, so.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, you're 2 hours behind us, so.
Right? I suppose.
LoriAnn, what an amazing podcast. I just want to say that.
All right.
Oh God. Thank you for being on it, and
This is the longest one we've ever done. We're almost on 3 hours.
it's good. We appreciate every second of it, and
Been that long? Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah.
and
you still have people listening?
yeah, they're just you did good. I mean, listen, it's not like major numbers. These are people who have known us for a while and they're into it.
I get it.
And we're very.
Hey, those people are still people too.
Amen. Amen. I do want to extend an offer to you. I'm able to do remote healing. Okay.
Sure.
And if you come into town, let's get together. I would like to show you my abilities. I already know yours, but I would like to offer you one of my sessions. Okay.
Sure.
And we'll have wine as we do it. Okay.
I will bring my husband.
Oh, I would love to meet him. Definitely.
Let's go to dinner.
Oh.
What about Jake? What's your name?
Josh.
She got the J part
She
right.
did, yeah.
The real Jesus right here.
Serious?
Well, Yeshua.
I know.
Hang on. In Hebrew, Yeshua means Jesus. Okay, So, but it actually goes to Joshua because
That'd
that's.
be a great name of a book too. Oh Jesus.
Oh Jesus, yes, which is funny. But when you come into town, or if you want me to work on you while you're still in Sedona, let's just get together, connect, and we'll do that. It would be an honor for me to work on you. As I said earlier, what amazing podcast. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you 1,000 times for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Most definitely.
This is my favorite one so far.
Oh, the best ever.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you.
Definitely. And me and Josh already talked about having you on anytime you want to come and do an investigation with us.
I was just hoping you'd ask because I would love to. I'll be in town, like I said, May 6th to June 7th.
Okay.
So in Appleton is where I live there. My
Okay.
mom lives there. So, yeah, I would love to. Everyone's like, she lives there and he lives there. Yep, we live separately because he has kids he's finishing up on.
Okay.
So, I would love to do an investigation with you. Absolutely. My husband has one. We have all the equipment and everything for the fancy cameras and everything, and he just gives you the card at the end.
Yeah. Well, as he and I say, you're welcome anytime you want, and we will let you know.
Oh my God,
every
yeah.
case we have. The one we have right now is very puzzling. Okay, and I'm going to forward that image to you. Okay.
Sure.
Take a look at them, and then let me know what you think.
Sure.
You should draw me that house too.
Yeah, we'd like to drill you the house right now. It's just here. I mean, it's going to be a
Oh
small.
yeah, no, I don't mean right now.
Let her do it. She wants to do it.
Right now, but-
Oh, okay.
We're 3 hours in already.
Oh yeah, what the hell?
It's not that difficult to draw.
Okay.
That's the rule. Okay. I'm a good painter. I'm not a good drawer.
That's okay.
Okay, so this is like got the little cookie love tab. Like this.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm not that high.
Okay, that's the roof. And then in the front, the pillars are interesting because they kind of come down like this.
Pillars.
You can see this little division right here in the middle of the front of it. And there's one here. Last time I drew a house for someone, she ended up buying it 3 weeks later.
That's amazing.
Really? Wow.
The door's got these little things like this. That's the front door, like so, and this is the porch. I'm not very good at drawing this, sorry. And there's longer windows here, and they got the old-fashioned like this. And then, sorry, the door goes up further, and these are the steps. There's like 5 steps that walk up. And then I think there's even this thing over the door. That's a window over the door. That looks like that.
Well, it's got like almost like a steeple on top.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's amazing.
Wow. You drew that fast.
She's good, yeah. She's very good.
Wow.
Not good. That's horrible. But
That was quick.
at least
That was
you get
very
the
quick.
idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's the
Wow.
idea. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I got one
Well,
question
thank you
for you.
guys.
I have one more question. That just came to mind.
There's always one more question when you're psychic.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Always.
If I were to ask you, my grandfather was a Holocaust survivor. I've been trying to get his number from the arm. I wanted to get a tattoo on me. And it's been very popular amongst Jewish people. Their grandparents or parents, whatever, they started getting that tattoo.
Is it 5 numbers?
I believe it is. I just don't remember it.
12653.
1, 2,
Don't
6.
get that tattooed on your arm until you can verify that.
Yeah. Give me something to write with.
12653.
Okay. Was there any letter at all in front of it or behind?
H.
H. Okay. Yeah, I'll go to the Holocaust.
I think there's a P at the end.
P at the end? Okay.
I think. But obviously you want to verify that because what
No. But I've been racking my brain because there were so many people recorded into that particular area, and the thing is there are only two places where they did the tattoos, and that was Auschwitz and Birkenau, which was Auschwitz 1 and 2. Okay, Auschwitz. Okay, and my grandfather spent 2 weeks there in transition onto another camp, and so as a boy I saw a scar on his hand because in the 60s he had it removed because he couldn't deal with it, couldn't look at it. You know, everybody dealt with it differently, but he just couldn't. So there was a scar right here, but I could never get that number, and that's why I asked you.
Yeah, whatever I just said. No,
Yep.
I don't remember what I said.
H12653.
Yeah, there's a P in there somewhere, but it's at the end.
Yeah.
So you might want to.
You did it right because you said P at the end.
Yeah.
You did. So, and I'll research it and I'll let you know exactly if that number belonged to my grandfather or not when we get that done.
Okay.
Why not? Why not? I would love for you to hear it.
Completely nothing. So just you asked, that's what I saw, so that's what I said.
Cool. That's awesome. Thank you so much. We got to call it quits, people. LoriAnn, amazing, just absolutely amazing. It is
PsychicLori.net. If you want a true... Yes.
okay.
If you want a true psychic reading or a true mediumship reading, you get your ass to that website.
That's right. and I'm telling you, I don't trust many people. I trust her, 100%. God bless you, LoriAnn.
Thank you.
What a pleasure. Bye.
Bye.
Take care. God bless. Bye. Bye. All right. Bye, hon. Bye. All right. Bye. She's so awesome.
All right, guys.
Wow.
That is it for tonight's show. That was
Incredible.
surreal.
The amount of information. Oh, go ahead. The amount of information that she was able to, almost conjure was just incredible.
I know.
And I want to thank all of you with the questions and the support. And I know it's a long show. We never, ever have done this type of show before. But it's just incredible.
Yeah.
And I personally feel like she is a part of the family now. The KPRT group, and we'll see.
And she was dead on accurate with literally every single medium thing.
That's
obviously
crazy.
Psychic in the future is psych is in the future, so I can't say that right now. But medium, she was on point with everything.
It was scary, quite honestly. But she is one
she
of.
even mentioned that book about your. She didn't even know about
No,
that.
I didn't mention it. And she'll go, book. And this is how you know a real deal is when she comes out of nowhere and tells you stuff that she has no knowledge of. Okay, and she just blew our minds. It's like, pah.
Exactly.
So, I'm exhausted because my back hurts. But I will tell you.
And I'm hungry.
I haven't eaten yet. Well, I ate once this morning, but thank you so much for everyone. Thank you, LoriAnn. You're amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she's done it for over 20 years. I've never met anyone that accurate.
Yeah.
And I've known quite a few when I lived in Arizona, California, so because that's what I was in. I was into that stuff. I was into the spiritual realm. And LoriAnn just keeps on surprising me. So
yeah.
Thank you, LoriAnn. Thank you, everyone that watched this show. All I got to say is God bless you, and we're calling it quits.
All right, we'll see everybody next month.
Bye.
With a new guest or without a new guest. We'll see. Okay, have a good night.